I had the mic muted and I already started going. But yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage. And we got another frenzy video for you guys today. Yo, I don't know what was in the air in terms of the news cycle, but a lot of things happened today. Boy, am I glad that I waited to do this stream, because I originally was going to do it earlier in the day. And then something in the back of my mind just said, wait. Like, just wait a little bit, right? Because whenever you do news early in the day, it seems like things usually break later on. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to have time to probably record two, so I'm going to just do it later. And that's what I ended up doing. And boy, did it pay off. Now, before we get into it, people, I need you guys to definitely smash that like button. And if you get in here while I'm live, get in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about some of the stories that we're going to be talking about. And if you happen to catch me after I'm live, that's cool as well, bro. Get in the comment section. I'm going to have chapters, so you'll be able to jump around to only hear the parts that you want to. But yeah, guys, look, we're going to be here for a little while, okay? I'm talking about go grab some water, some juice, some popcorn, some chips, dinner, whatever, because we got a lot of stuff to get into. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's going to be joining. Shout out to everybody that's going to be clicking. Definitely make sure, as I said, to smash that like button. And do not forget to subscribe to Football Carnage. We got a lot of stuff coming this summer. A lot of watch-alongs, Euros, Copa America, transfer live streams, transfer videos. I'm also going to be trying to do streams where I bring on guests and we just debate and yell at each other. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, people. You guys definitely do not want to miss it. But as I said, I don't even know where to start. I mean, like, where should we go? I think we all know the obvious place to start, and that is with Manchester United and their manager, Erik ten Hag, because they have confirmed after 2.5 weeks of Ineos doing an end-of-season review that they're going to be keeping this manager. And according to all the reports, they're saying that ten Hag and the club are also in talks over an extension, because we all know that his deal runs out after this upcoming season. United fans, I need you guys to get in the chat and let me know, how are you guys feeling about Erik ten Hag staying? I don't take many L's, right? I'm usually right. When I speak, it's usually written in stone. But I gotta admit, I took a huge L here. I was so certain that ten Hag was gonna get sacked, because when I looked at how things have gone for Manchester United over the last 2 years, it didn't really look that good. I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of Man United, unfortunately, because I do watch-alongs, and I also got to know what's going on so that when I'm making these videos, I know what to say. And boy, what I've been seeing since ten Hag has been there has been awful. Like, watching Man United games feels like a punishment. It's like I don't want to do it. And if I look at all the bad decisions and all the bad results, all the negative records that he's broken, I'm just baffled that this is the conclusion that Ineos have come to. And I guess it probably wouldn't be that bad, in my opinion, to keep ten Hag for 1 year if you want to say that the manager market isn't that good, right? I hear a lot of people run with that narrative. And that's fine, right? I get it, right? There's like no real proven big name managers out there, right? Like you're not getting a Carlo or anybody on that level right now. So if that's why they kept Ten Hag, then I can kind of hear it. But the issue that I have is the contract extension. That is what's getting to me. That's what I don't understand. Why would you extend his contract? Why not wait to see how he does this season before you look to do that? Because, I mean, let's be honest. I don't really think Ten Hag is a hot manager in terms of a lot of clubs are looking to bring him in. I don't really think that many teams are monitoring Ten Hag's contract situation. But, man, crazy decision. And they just dropped this out of nowhere. David Ornstein with a big alert. I was doing some work and I was like, whoa, because I already had the stream set up. And I'm like, bro, this has got to be the first thing that we talk about. And to Ten Hag's defense, the only things that he's done for Man United that I think is good is he's won those 2 trophies. Carabao Cup his first season, FA Cup this last season. But at the end of the day, when you're Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, it's not been good enough. They're just coming off of arguably the worst Premier League season that they've ever had. They were awful this year. They were getting outplayed every single game. Ten Hag has spent more than 400 million on bums. And I think that he should have been sacked after he said he cannot play his style of football. Like, what do you mean you can't play how you played at Ajax? That's why you were brought in. Man United didn't bring you in to experiment. Manchester United brought you in off the back of what you did for Ajax. And the fact that he said he's not going to play the Ajax way because he can't do it after he bought Antony from Ajax for damn near 80 million. You bought Onana, who's a former Ajax player. You brought in Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. What do you mean? There's managers who are implementing their style of play with less. Look at Oliver Glasgow at Crystal Palace. He's only been there since, February? And look at how they were playing after he came in. Cooking champagne football. They went from Roy Hodgson to Oliver Glasgow. But I'm supposed to believe that Erik ten Hag, with that big war chest that he was given, can't do better than this? Nobody's saying that you got to go win the Prem. But, brother, we expect better results. We expect Man United to not be outplayed every single game, even when they're going against teams that are in the bottom half of the table. Let's not forget Champions League didn't get out the group. Finished last in a group that had Copenhagen. No, not Copenhagen. Had Galatasaray. And then it had some team that was low, like a Copenhagen. It's unacceptable. What I think happened was United wanted to sack this manager. I truly believe Ineos wanted him gone. And all the reports that broke a few days ago, Thomas Tuchel, he met with Jim Ratcliffe in Monaco, and they weren't able to come to an agreement. So I think Ineos looked, but I think that they were rejected. I think the new model that they're trying to implement, maybe the managers that they were looking at aren't really going for that. Maybe they're not interested in just being a head coach, right? Not really having a say in transfers, having to deal with all the other things that might come with this rebuild. So Tuchel clearly rejected them. Some people were talking about De Zerbi. An unnamed team paid his release clause at Brighton. We all speculated that was Manchester United. Clearly it wasn't. I don't know what the hell to believe. I mean, it's actually crazy when you think about it. But look, man, United fans, yeah, it's not looking good. Ineos, you're not off to a great start. There's going to be some people who are going to be happy, but I think a majority of people are not going to be really pleased with this news. And I was backing Ineos. I thought that they would do the right thing. I thought that they would make the decision that they needed to, which was to sack this manager. That FA Cup win over Man City, I think really helped him keep his job. I think if he would have lost that, he would have gotten sacked. But my thing is, why did you wait 2.5 weeks to announce this? You might as well just announce this after he won the FA Cup, when everybody was celebrating, when the morale was super high. But I just don't believe in Ten Hag at all. Like, I'm trying to look. He won 2 trophies in 2 years. That's very important, right? That's something that a lot of people are kind of just glossing over. But at least that is the least he could have done. If you're gonna play this bad, if you're not gonna get out the Champions League group stage, if you're gonna finish 8th, if you're gonna spend 60 million on Mason Mount, who only had 1 year left on his contract, if you're gonna go sign Rasmus Højlund, go sign Anthony, Onana, players who don't really look like they're gonna work out, the least you could do is win 2 trophies. So I'll give him credit for that. But wow, I did not see this news coming. And I guess, you know what? Maybe we should have saw it coming, though, because of how long it took for them to come to this decision. Now, all eyes are going to be on Ineos. What are they going to do this summer? You kept your manager. So now this is your manager. Once you give him an extension, this is officially their manager. Because usually what happens is when new ownership comes in, they usually sack everybody because they want to bring in their own people. But by giving Ten Hag an extension, if that does happen, that means that you back him. That means that this is now your guy. So now everybody's going to want to know, what are Ineos going to do in the summer market? You got to go out there and you got to get rid of a lot of the deadwood and you got to bring in some good players. You're Manchester United. There's no excuses now. Ten Hag's not going to have anywhere to hide next season. So, look, a lot of fans aren't going to be happy, Ineos. And the best way to get fans on side, especially during the offseason in the summer, is by bringing them some shiny new toys. Olise, right? Ivan Toney, Lenny Yoro. Obviously, you might not get all 3 of those, but I'm just throwing out some names of players that would get the fans maybe more so back on side. But I don't really think much is going to change. I think the expectations for United, when you're the biggest club in England, because that's what they are, they're arguably the biggest club in the world, by the way. The expectations has to be winning trophies. He's delivered that in his first 2 seasons. I think next season, he has to come at minimum top 5. You got to have a deep run in the Carabao Cup, a deep run in the FA Cup, and I think that you have to win the Europa League. That should be the expectations for Ten Hag next season. I don't know if you guys agree. Let me know in the comment section. I think that's pretty fair. But the style of play has to get better. Ten Hag has to figure something out because you cannot go into this upcoming season playing the same way that you did last. It's not good enough. And I know that United had a lot of injuries, but everybody has injuries. It shouldn't affect you that much to where you look that shit. But, man, crazy, crazy, crazy. Ineos have made their first real big move as the new owners. So, yeah, let's see what happens this summer because I know that their whole model is switching up, right? Ineos, Ten Hag, before Ineos came in, he had like full say on transfers and he had refusal rights and all that where he could say no to a player that the club might want. I don't think Ineos are operating like that. So let's see how that works because if this guy plays like this with players that he's wanted, I can't imagine how he'll look when he gets players that he maybe didn't want them to sign. I mean, shit, that's actually crazy when I think about it. Like, that just came off the top of my head. But yeah, man, let me know in the comment section, though. How do you guys feel about Erik ten Hag staying? I will put my hands up and say I will hold the L. I was wrong. I was so confident that this guy was out of here. So the fact that he ended up staying is just crazy to me. I just don't understand it. De Zerbi was right there. Who the hell paid De Zerbi's release clause for him to leave Brighton? I don't get it. Jeez, man. United get outplayed every week, getting battered. Look at all the money that he spent, and they still look this awful. Mason Mount, Anthony, Onana, playing Megan Rapinoe every week, giving Anthony a run out. That's Amad Diallo's Man United career done. Ten Hag don't rate technical players, except for Kobe Mainoo. And I feel like he has to play Mainoo because the club would, then they'd probably sack him if Mainoo wasn't getting playtime. But this guy, his style of play is just so bad. I hate it. And when you're a big club like United, I think it's unacceptable to be playing counterattack football. All that United want to do is sit back, let teams have the ball, defend for like 60% of the game, and then hoof the ball down the field to Garnacho or Rashford. Bro, oh my goodness. Another season of that. But as I said, he's won 2 trophies. I will give him that. Like, that is very good. Very good. He's more successful than Arteta. I know that Arteta has Arsenal competing for second, but you don't win anything for being second. Ten Hag, 2 trophies in 2 years. Arteta, in 4.5 years, 1 trophy. So it is what it is, people. But as I say, yeah, look, Amad Diallo's career at United, done. It's over. Sancho's, definitely done. I mean, they already confirmed that. They're going to sell him regardless, the reports were saying. Yeah, man. Let's see what Man United do this summer. As I said, get in the chat and let me know. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Scott, what's going on, bro? Same. Oh, here it's yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. Like, so my thing is, I really don't understand the thought process, right? The only thing that really makes sense is Ineos think there's no manager out there that's better, so we don't want to sack him and then hire somebody that might do worse, and then we got to sack them. And as I said, if that's the reasoning, then I kind of understand it. But if they now go out there and give this man an extension, that is where I'm saying, what the hell is going on? Why would you extend him? Let him prove it next season. Nobody else wants Ten Hag. Trust me. They're not going to take him, bro. You guys can relax. Like I said, if he didn't win the cup, he would have been gone. I agree, Scott. Guys, definitely make sure to smash that like button for me and subscribe if you have not done so already. And also, get in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. We got a lot of stories to talk about. But this Ten Hag news I was like, yo, we got to start here, right? I mean, it's the biggest news that dropped of the day. And the content that we're about to get from a lot of Man United fans is going to be fantastic. My guy Saeed already did his live stream, was on there for like 2 hours, losing his mind. I can't wait to watch Rance's stream later when I get off of this. I don't even watch the United stand, but I might check that out because I know that Goldbridge was a Ten Hag inner. The content is about to be crazy the next few days. Everybody, let's just grab some popcorn and enjoy. Because, wow. Wow. Let's see. He should go back to Ajax. I mean, I can see that happening if he was to get sacked because they're struggling at the moment, right? I don't think Ajax played that well last season. So, Ten Hag was there and he won trophies. I remember when he beat us at the Bernabeu in the Champions League. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that could happen. His back 4 let him down. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you could use the injury excuse. Sure. Let's see. Next, Ineos won't win anything. Well, I think so United have to be considered one of the favorites for the FA Cup. I mean, sorry, not the FA Cup. Whoa. The Europa League, right? They're going to spend money this summer. I know people are trying to make it seem like United are broke. We hear this every summer. Oh, United have to sell to buy. Bro, Man United are one of the biggest clubs on earth. They make arguably the most money out of any club in the world. They have bread to spend. And Ineos, they know that this decision is very decisive. So I fully believe that they are going to go out there and splash the cash. I think that they will go out there and sign a few big name players. Now, I don't think they're going to get anybody I think that they're going to have to fit a certain parameter, right? Obviously, I think, they're going to want to go younger. So I think that they're going to be looking for players around the age of 22, 25. And, that fit a certain profile. They're not going to go out there and sign like a 30-year-old player just because they're like a world-class. No. I think that they want young players that are already on the cusp of that. And that's where I can kind of see them going so that they can kind of develop the talent themselves. Let's see. I thought they might wait for. Well, this move could possibly mean that they are looking at Southgate because I think Southgate's done after these Euros. When England don't get past the quarterfinals, that's my prediction. I think England have such a talented pool of players, but they just play so shit. I actually think Southgate, this is his last tournament with them, and I can definitely see them going after. If they don't get Southgate, oh my goodness, I think a lot of people that are kind of Ineos out right now. I think a lot more people will be joining the Ineos out guys, but I think just give them a chance, right? Marvel, what's going on, bro? He is a bum. I don't like Ten Hag at all. It says, why the title about Vini? Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about it, bro. PSG, these bums actually think that they could take a star player from us. Like there's reports going around saying that they're interested in Vini. Well, guess what? I'm interested in winning the lottery. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show, Marvel. Shout out to you, though, my guy. Let's see. Bilal says, difference is he did win the cup. 2 for 2 finals. Not bad with that team. Fair enough. That's the only thing that he has to take away from it. And the only thing that I would say to that, though, real quick, before I get into your comment, Scott, is that a lot of people wanted Jose Mourinho out after he won 2 trophies in his first season. What did he win? I think he won the FA Cup and the Europa League, and people still wanted Jose Mourinho out. So it's like, why is there so much patience for Ten Hag compared to other managers? Like, this guy has been the most backed Man United manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Literally. Oh, wait. Whoa, my fault, Scott. I just clicked off your comment. Let's see. I watch Mina Football. She's a big United fan. Yeah, I think I've seen her on Saeed's channel. I'm not that sure about her content, though. I haven't really watched her aside from that. But yeah, shout out to Mina as well. Let's see. Sam, what's going on, bro? 7 Hog will lose 10-0 to Slot next year. Oh, yeah, it's going to be crazy. All right, guys. Let's move forward, though, right? Let's, I feel like I've spent a lot of time talking about Ten Hag and that madness that's come through today. So, yeah, but let's kind of, let's now switch gears and go to players now, right? Because I got a lot of stuff to talk about with players, a lot of transfer news. You guys already know, look, the summer window isn't officially open yet, but you guys can announce deals. And, people are working on signings right now. So we're getting to the thick I don't even know what the saying is. I was trying to be clever. Forget it, bro. Anyways, look, let's talk about RB Leipzig and Benjamin Sesko because he signed a new contract. He's rejected Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United to stay at RB Leipzig. Now, this news comes nowhere, right? I think everybody expected him to leave. Everybody expected him to pick one of those 3 clubs. And I think he's made the right choice in staying in Germany because I don't think Benjamin Sesko is that good. And he's only 21 years old. He just turned 21. He needs to develop because he's not the finished article yet. And if you go to any of those teams in England, Arsenal, Chelsea, or United, people are going to be expecting you to bag goals and to be the main man up front immediately. And that's just not what Sesko is. I think he would have flopped. If he would have joined any of these clubs, he would have flopped. He would not have made it. So I think this is a W move. I also think maybe his agent might have used the interest from other clubs to get him a better deal. And I think they're saying he's going to have a gentleman's agreement to either leave Leipzig in 2025 or 2026. So we'll see how he progresses. But Benjamin Sesko, for me, was not the guy. I'll start with Arsenal. You guys would have saw my video that I posted yesterday. I think this is the wrong striker for them to have targeted. Makes no sense. A lot of these fans online, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, all you guys look stupid because they were bigging up Sesko. Oh my gosh, this guy is going to be the next this, and he looks this good. And bros, no. They were making Sesko out to be like he's a generational talent or something. And now that he's staying at Leipzig, do Arsenal and Chelsea and United fans still think that highly of Sesko? No, they're not going to think that highly of him because you only care about players when it looks like you can sign him. They only big up players when it looks like they're coming through the door. And yeah, he's made all you guys look crazy. Look, this is a blessing in disguise for Arsenal. Because Arsenal need to sign a proven striker. This is a team that have not won a trophy in 4 full years now. You lost the Premier League title on the last day to Man City. Last season, you bottled an 8-point lead late in the season as well after being on top for like 92% of the season. And by losing the title by 1 game this year, I think a lot of people expected Arsenal to head into this summer and do some serious business, not look to bring in a 21-year-old striker. that can't start for Leipzig, that comes off the bench. Let's be honest here. Are Arsenal a serious club or not? This would not have been a good signing for them. I've been saying for time, go get Ivan Toney. He's available. He only has 12 months left on his contract. He's at Brentford. He's Premier League proven. And he's a better player than Sesko. Or how about now, Julian Alvarez? I didn't know that he'd be available this summer. But the reports are saying that he is. He wants to go somewhere and start. I think Julian Alvarez would be a good signing as well. But here's the problem. I don't actually believe Arsenal care about winning. I think they're just happy to be in the conversation. They're happy to be mentioned in the same sentence as Man City. But they're not serious. I mean, look at the transfer people that they're being linked to. I don't get it. You need a proven striker. You need world-class level players. You need guys that can come in and win you something immediately. Because I think there's a lot of pressure on Arteta next season, bro. If Arteta goes another season trophyless, he needs to be sacked. Because clearly he's not the guy to lead Arsenal forward. That's how I feel about them. Because I do like Arsenal. They are my favorite English team. But the standards there are just on the floor, bro. 20-year-old striker when you're trying to compete with Man City. And mind you, you lost the Premier League to one of the worst City sides that we've seen since Pep has been there. That City team wasn't that impressive. This Arsenal side, everybody brings it up. My guy Igal, shout out to him, putting 9 Arsenal players in a combined 11 with Real Madrid. Is he mad? And you guys couldn't beat arguably the worst Man City side that we've seen for a while, maybe since Pep's first 2 seasons or first season. So, yeah, Arsenal fans, this is a blessing in disguise. I thought Chelsea, he would have been a good fit there, right? Because the expectations at Chelsea is not the same like Arsenal. So if they would have signed a Benjamin Sesko, I'd have said, you know what? I don't really rate the guy like that. But Chelsea are a young team that's rebuilding. They have room for error. Nobody expects Chelsea to do anything next season except maybe compete for top 5. Let's be honest. And win the Conference League. You have to win that. You cannot, if you're Chelsea, lose that competition. But a Benjamin Sesko fits their timeline because he's young and he can still develop. Chelsea don't have to win now like an Arsenal. As far as Man United are concerned, I think it would have been a good fit for them as well. Especially now that they're keeping Ten Hag. That counterattack style of play, I think would have benefited Benjamin Sesko a lot because he's fast as hell. So he'd be deadly on them counters. But for United, even though I think he could kind of fit in that system, I don't agree with him going there. They already have Rasmus Højlund. He's about the same age as this guy, and he's a work in progress. He's an experiment. So now why go sign another experiment? If you're United, you should be looking at more proven strikers, maybe a bit older. Because Højlund needs to learn from somebody. He can't learn from Sesko because they both are going to struggle in the league. They're both going to have to adopt still. But, yeah, he's staying at Leipzig. So, you know, that ends that for right now. But I want to know what you guys think about Benjamin Sesko staying in Germany, getting a brand new contract, and also rejecting Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United. I'm seeing a lot of cope going around. People are saying, nah, he didn't reject us. We just weren't really that interested in him. Oh, you know, he wouldn't have really helped us anyways and all this stuff. Bro, you weren't saying that when it looked like he was going to be coming in. Come on now. But what you guys saying in the chat? Is Sancho going to Madrid? I doubt it. I would take him, though. I would definitely take Sancho at Madrid, but I can't see that happening, bro. But yeah, no, we'll talk about Sancho in a little bit, though, for sure. Let's see. Good points. Let's go. Thanks, bro. Yo, let me know how my connection is. Let me know if I'm good or not. But I think I've been good so far. I think it kind of has been up and down, you know, like StreamYard's still giving me problems, even on my new laptop. But I think that we're pretty much good, right? He might be leaving on a release clause. Well, not this summer though. Not if he signs a new deal. It wouldn't make any sense for him to sign a new deal and then they sell him this summer on a release clause thing. And if there is a release clause, it's pretty high. I remember when the rumors first started, they were saying that Sesko's release clause is like 75 M's, bro. Who's paying that for him? He's not worth that kind of money right now. Maybe in a few seasons though, who knows? But yeah, man, let's move forward though. Because another deal that looks like it's about to get wrapped up is Douglas Luiz possibly going to Juventus. Who the hell saw that coming? They got linked to him like last week, and like 4 or 5 days later, it's about to be finished. Now, this is very surprising. I did not see this coming at all. Douglas Luiz is somebody that's been linked with the move to Arsenal, right? He's been linked to moves around the Premier League. But him going to Juve is a big surprise. And it looks like Juve might have finessed Aston Villa. Because all that they're going to have to give up is Weston McKennie, Illing Jr., and 20 million. Like, that doesn't even sound right. Douglas Luiz is one of Aston Villa's best players. He's their most valuable player. Go check transfer market. And they're about to lose him to Juventus. Now, Juve are a big club, right? I'm not trying to sit here and disrespect them. But if I'm Aston Villa, I would be pretty pissed off right now. Because you just qualified for Champions League and you're going to lose arguably your best midfielder. Like, how does that work? I think that they have to sell because something with financial fair play. But, I mean, that's rough. Now, Juve, they look like they're on the up and up, right? I mean, they got a new manager, Thiago Motta. Signed him from Bologna. He was cooking there. Got them into a Champions League place. Now he's at Juve. And it looks like Douglas Luiz will be one of his first signings. Now, I think the only way that this deal can happen, right, for this amount of money and those two players, Aston Villa must really rate Weston McKennie and what's his other guy's name? Forgetting his name. And Illing Jr., right? Illing Jr. is English as well. He's a player that people think has a lot of potential. Can he reach that at Villa? I'm not too sure. Can Weston McKennie step up and kind of do the same role that Douglas Luiz can? I'm not too sure. But if this deal goes through, which it looks like it is, because Fabrizio Romano has basically said that this is at an advanced stage, then this is a fantastic deal by Juve. And I think Douglas Luiz will go to Italy and thrive. Because when you're able to look as good as you have in the Premier League, in a much faster and more physical league, going to Italy in a league that's slower, the pace isn't as fast, it's not as physical, you're going to have more time on the ball, he'll thrive at Juve. And let's see how they're going to be able to compete against Inter Milan, because they just look like a juggernaut right now in Italy. Like, Inter Milan, what they've been doing underneath Inzaghi has been fantastic. Obviously, Juve, I know them from when I first started watching ball. They were the best team in Italy. I remember seeing them in the Champions League final twice, even though they lost both those times. But still, they are, I think, the most successful Italian team. And they're going to want to win the league next season. But they are kind of going through a rebuild. And they did win a trophy with Allegri a few weeks ago before he was sacked. I don't know what the hell happened there. But they are going to have to give Thiago Motta some time to implement his style of play. And I think Douglas Luiz, adding him into your midfield, it's a W move. I'm not going to lie. So let me know what you guys think about this. I think Aston Villa, they got weaker. Now, their owners are smart, right? And they do recruit really well. Look at how they've spent money since they've sold Jack Grealish. Look at the players that they've brought in and that they've identified. They have a good squad there at Villa. But I think losing Douglas Luiz is a massive L. And I don't understand how come Douglas Luiz decided to go to Juventus instead of maybe waiting for one of these Premier League clubs. What if Man City wanted to buy him back? I know Arsenal have been linked to him what it seems like forever. So how come that didn't go through? But Juve not messing around, bro. As I said, yo, they were linked to him a few days ago, and they're already getting the deal done. Weston McKennie, Illing Jr., plus 20 million. The deal seems a bit weird to me, but I'm going to have to say Aston Villa lost here. But let's see what they do in the summer. Let's see how they recruit. Let's see what players they bring in, because it's going to be hard to replace him, but not impossible, right? Douglas Luiz is not a world-class player. I think he's really good, but he's not a world-class player, right? He's just a very good CM, can also be a defensive midfielder as well. And I thought he would have been the perfect signing for Arsenal. He would have been nice to be in a double pivot with him and Rice, and then you let Odegaard stay in front of them, and then you can maybe let Rice have a little bit of free roam to run into the box and crash it late. I don't know what Arsenal are doing here. I mean, like, how did you miss out on Douglas Luiz? It's also clearly a cheaper deal to get done than Bruno Guimaraes. But, you know, I'm pretty sure Aston Villa would have played some more, well, they would have negotiated, I think, a little differently if it was Arsenal who were in for him right now and that were putting in bids. But as I say, man, let me know what you guys think about Douglas Luiz heading to Juventus in the comment section, because this is a move that I don't think many of us saw coming this summer. We definitely probably thought he was going to stay in the Prem. Let's see. He might be leaving. Oh, I already read that. Like, why did I click that again? Bilal says no notes at all. WT's included. Agree. My guy, Bilal, man. My guy. I don't know if you're talking about with Sesko or with Douglas Luiz, but point is, just still my guy, bro. Let me see. I thought Conte would go back to Juve. I took an L there. Yeah, man. Where's Conte at? I think Conte went to Napoli, right? I think Conte's at Napoli. Jose Mourinho's at Fenerbahce. Thiago Motta is now at Juve. Erik ten Hag's at Manchester United. He's staying. Vincent Kompany's at Bayern. Hansi Flick is at Barcelona. Arne Slot's at Liverpool. Like, all the big deals that, or all the managerial openings that were there, they're all closed now. I mean, it makes sense though, right? The Euros kick off in a few days. You don't really want to be waiting around, bro. I mean, you know, like, you want your manager to get in so that you could, what's the word? You want to bring your manager in so that you can start planning for the summer. But yeah, like that, all that stuff, like the manager landscape just shifted real quick, bro. Hey, Zare, what's going on, bro? Big up. 10 stone cold. Oh my goodness. Getting stunned that he stayed. Yo, I can't believe it. We talked about it a bit earlier, bro, but yeah, like, that's crazy. You know, Ineos with a huge decision there. But yeah, let's move forward though, people, because there's a lot more stories to get into. Now, we got to move to, let's go to Real Madrid, right? Let's talk about some rumors that we got over there, because the Florian Wirtz transfer stories are just not going away. And as I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And it looks like everybody believes Wirtz will join Real Madrid next summer, 2025. Now, I'm not too sure how I feel about him possibly joining, because he is a really good player. He is. And he does have the potential to be world class. He's on that kind of level. But I'm just struggling to see where he fits into our team, right? The midfield area for Madrid is the strongest position in the squad. But if you go bring in Wirtz, especially for what, 150 million, that's what I'm seeing, he has to start. You don't spend that kind of money for him to just sit on the bench. But now, who do you drop? Because we're talking about a midfield that has Jude, Fede Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler. And I know Luka Modric is staying for this season, but he's not going to be here when Wirtz gets here. And Toni Kroos has already left us because he's retiring after the Euros. So who gets dropped? Now, I do think Madrid's midfield is going to lack creativity, right? Because Brahim Diaz and Arda are our most creative midfielders that we have. But they're not going to start, right? They're going to be coming off the bench, and they're going to start in like the cup games, and they'll start occasionally. But when it's really time to go, when it's Champions League, second leg against Man City, 2-2 on aggregate, and we're going to the Etihad, Arda Güler and Brahim, unless there's an injury, are more than likely not going to start. So in our strongest 11, even though our midfield is very strong, it's filled with a bunch of work horses. That's what I should say. Nobody that's as creative as a player as Wirtz is. But I think if you bring him in, somebody might leave. You guys could get in the comment section and let me know who you think that could possibly be. But what formation would we even run? So I think Madrid, they're possibly looking at Wirtz as maybe a Toni Kroos replacement, right? I don't think that we're going to address midfield this summer. But we are going to be feeling the effects of Toni Kroos leaving. One of the best midfielders that this sport has seen. A Real Madrid legend. The guy's won everything. And even at what, 34, 35 years old? Look at his level last season. This guy is in the race to win the Ballon d'Or. And he's just retired. He was one of our best players last season. The way that he was able to pick a pass. The way that he was able to also be like that deep line playmaker. We're going to miss that because nobody in our midfield can pass like Kroos can. Anyways, as I said, I don't think that we're going to address the midfield area this summer. I think that we're going to be good for right now. But if Wirtz is looked at as the Kroos replacement, I think that's wrong. Because Wirtz is more of an attack-minded player, right? He plays as a 10, or you could put him on the left wing, the right wing. A Kroos replacement, ideally, would be somebody that can sit back and also make those same kind of passes. I don't know if Wirtz can drop deep into midfield and pick out passes from there. Because all that I've seen from him when he's been cooking is when he's further up the pitch. So, if anything, he more so threatens Jude's position. He threatens that spot. But this is going to be a deal that would be crazy if it happens. But I'm not that big on Florian Wirtz. I mean, I've talked about him on Football Frenzy a few times. I'm a Jamal Musiala guy. That's who I would go after if you wanted to go bring in an attacking midfielder. Wirtz contract runs out in 2027. Musiala's runs out in 2026. So that means if he doesn't sign a new contract, he'd only have 12 months left on his deal come next summer. I think that's the signing to go get. I've also watched a lot more of Musiala than I have Florian Wirtz. What he's done at Bayer Leverkusen, Wirtz, this season, fantastic. Winning them the league, going invincible. But Musiala, I think, is the better player, right? I mean, I saw Wirtz play a few times. I haven't really been that impressed, especially in that Europa League final. I was really taken aback by how poor the entire Bayer Leverkusen team played. I also think, aside from maybe trying to find a Toni Kroos replacement, I believe Xabi Alonso is lined up to take over from Carlo Ancelotti after next season. So maybe this is like a package deal. Like maybe these two will come over together. Me personally, I like Xabi Alonso. Was a good player for us. Has looked like a really good manager. But how people are just so ready to give him that Madrid job, not me. I want to see what Bayer Leverkusen are going to do next season when they're in the Champions League, when they got to defend their title, because Bayern are going to go again, right? Bayern are going to have a big summer. I believe that they're going to look to improve their squad, because you're not going to tell me that Bayern are going to go 2 seasons in a row without winning that league. I can't see it happening. I want to also see them play against better comp. So, yeah, let's see how Bayer Leverkusen do next season before we're just so ready to replace Carlo Ancelotti. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think Carlo should be able to stay at Madrid for as long as he wants. As long as he keeps winning. He's done fantastic since he's come back to us from Everton. I think he should be here until he's ready to leave. That's how I would frame it to him. Or until he stops winning trophies. Then, all right, bro, you kind of got to go. But, yeah, man, look, that's my take on Wirtz. I think that, look, he does have the potential. He looks like a good player on the ball, very technical, can pick out a pass. He also can shoot as well. And he is dangerous. He is. But I'm just struggling to see how we put him into that midfield. And then also who gets dropped or who gets sold. I mean, it's bad enough that I can't find a way to put Camavinga in there. I think Real Madrid's best formation is a 4-3-3 next season. Somebody has to miss out. And I think Camavinga misses out, which sucks because I like Camavinga. I think he is a world-class talent player. And I think he starts for every single team in the world except for Madrid. So we gotta see what happens though. But yeah, Florian Wirtz. This is definitely one to keep our eye out for because I've been seeing this rumor so much lately, and we're gonna be seeing it throughout the entirety of next season as well. But I do think if Madrid come in for him, he will join. I know other clubs are also interested, right? Like Man City might look at him because they may need to replace Kevin De Bruyne. Barcelona are reportedly interested as well, but I thought they were broke. So how are they in this conversation? So yeah, we'll see though. But it's gonna be really tricky on how you put him into this team. This is the greed that they talked about in the Bible. But it's not my problem, right? I'm not the manager because if I was Carlo and they brought in Wirtz, I'd be here like, oh my goodness, like I'm suffering from success. That's what it literally is. Like it's a good problem to have, but who gets sacrificed? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Wirtz possibly joining Real Madrid in 2025. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys as always. Yo, definitely also make sure to smash that like button while we're doing this and subscribe if you've not done so already. Let's see. I missed a few of the chat, so yeah, let's get into this. Napoli will be strong with Conte at the helm. Yeah, but let's see if they sell Victor Osimhen or who's that guy? Kravitzelia. I cannot pronounce his name. As I said, if you say that guy's name 3 times in the mirror, a monster appears behind you. I'm telling you, his name is like a spell. Yeah, but we'll see though. Look, Conte is a good manager and he's a winner. So you know they definitely will win something before Conte leaves, right? Like, and Napoli, they're like the mafia, bro. Like they don't play around over there. They're tough to do business with, and yeah, you know, shout out to Conte. He wins everywhere he goes except for Tottenham, just because they are cursed. You man are too serious, even when you get Galacticos. Yeah, man, I mean, that's what basically is. It's the Galactico 2. Well, no, not 2.0 because the 2.0 was Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale. So this is Galacticos 3.0. Yeah, man. Florentino Perez, the greatest president that this sport has ever seen, man. I think Florentino Perez is the most important player. Player. He is the most important figure at Real Madrid. Like, whenever he steps down as president or something else, it's going to be a very sad day. And whoever has to follow up his presidency, yeah, I think then you might see us kind of drop off a little bit. Not too much, right? I still think that we'll be still up there, but nobody else that comes in after Florentino Perez to be our president will be able to keep up the levels that he's been able to sustain the last like decade plus. It's going to be impossible. Sam says you can't have him and Bellingham. We don't need him. So the thing is, I like Jude, right? But Jude's not a creative. He's not a creator, right? Like Jude's not the person that's going to be breaking down low blocks and picking out the right pass and all that. Jude is a workhorse. Jude is a number 8. That's what his best position is. Now, this season, he's played in that 10. He's played in that striker/false 9 role, and he's done a great job at it, but that's not what he is. We did that with him because we had nobody else, and Jude is physical enough to do that kind of role. But he does not have the same technical ability. He does not have the same level of passing IQ that a Florian Wirtz or Jamal Musiala has. But I agree, you can't have him and Jude in the same team unless then you drop who? Valverde? Because you can't drop Fede Valverde, right? Yeah, man, it's just very confusing. So I don't know how much I do believe this rumor. I'm not too sure because I'm pretty sure that Florentino Perez and that the board have to know that this would be a massive issue. I mean, it's a good issue to have, but then somebody will probably leave. You bring in Florian Wirtz, you have to be prepared to lose somebody because there's not going to be that many. Well, okay, let's say Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Fede Valverde, Jude. You bring this guy in, Arda, Brahim. I mean, Arda and Brahim are right now, at the time of recording, they are more so rotational players. But like with Jude, Valverde, Tchouaméni, like, who's going to be happy to become a bench player? So we'll see. I mean, I think this is going to be a deal that maybe does not happen. But look, as I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's definitely something to this, especially if Xabi Alonso comes in next season. After next season, then he probably is going to want somebody from Bayer Leverkusen to come with him. And I mean, Florian Wirtz would be the obvious choice. On top of that, I think this deal would also kind of depend on how Arda progresses, right? Arda Güler, I think he's going right to the top. And he can play in that central midfielder role, right? Like he can play a little deeper, even though he is better going forward and on the ball because he can also play on the wings or can play as a 10. But I think if Arda develops really well next season, there's no need to go get Florian Wirtz. There's really not. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, though. Let's see. I told you on Staffy's channel and you thought I was waffling about Florian Wirtz, bro. I'm forgetting what you're talking about, my guy. Let me know in the let me know. Cruz replacement. Oh, okay, that. Yeah. See, but the thing is though, but Wirtz can't because Cruz played deep this season. Can Wirtz do that? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've watched every Leverkusen game. I watched a good amount, but I don't think Wirtz is built like that. I think he needs to be advancing with the ball. Because there was games where we'd have Cruz as our DM, as like really deep. Wirtz is not going that deep. Maybe he can do it. I just haven't seen him, so maybe I'm crazy. We should get Trent as a crew. What? Trent Alexander-Arnold to go into our midfield? Sam, you might have lost me there, bro. Absolutely not. This guy, Trent, can't even get into Liverpool's midfield. Their midfield's not even that good. And Trent can't get into that midfield. He's not getting into Real Madrid's midfield. The only chance that Trent has to play for Madrid is if we sign him as a right back because Danny Carvajal is getting a bit older. And maybe we might do that, right? Him and Jude are like best friends. So, maybe the club, they consider it. Let's see. Did you see Cruz spent $200K a match for a private jet home? I didn't know that. Damn. Imagine having that much money, bro. You could just pay $200,000 and take a private jet home. If I had to spend $200K right now, bro, I literally have to file for bankruptcy. Yeah, it would not be good. Let's see. I know, Zaire, whenever I bring up Jamal Musiala, you don't like it, bro, but I'm telling you, that's my guy. I like Musiala, man. Oh, my goodness. I think that guy is, if I was Man City, because to me, I think Kevin De Bruyne is cooked. If I'm Man City, Wirtz or Jamal Musiala, I mean, I'd go in more for Musiala, obviously, but these are the two players that I'd be looking at to replace Kevin De Bruyne. Musiala is a fantastic player, bro. Ooh, Scott says he thinks that Leverkusen do it again. I can't see them doing it again. I can't. Like, the season that they just had was so good that there's no way that they'll be able to match what they did going into next season. But to be fair, I do expect them to be. I think for me, the expectations for Leverkusen, I'm not expecting them to win anything, if I'm being honest. Right? I mean, look, you already got links with Jonathan Tah leaving to go to Bayern Munich. See, this is why we don't rate the Bundesliga, right? This is why it's a shit league. Like, Leverkusen just won the league, and Jonathan Tah might go join Bayern Munich, their best defender. Like, what is that? Anyways, I don't really think Leverkusen will win anything next season. My expectations for them is going to be, you have to make the league competitive, right? I'm talking about you got to go toe-to-toe with Bayern next season. Even if you come second, fair enough. But you got to go into like at least the last month of the season where we're kind of, it's like a race. I think you got to go deep in every domestic cup. And I think in Champions League, I don't really know how the group's going to shake out, who they might get matched up against. But I think you got to at least get out the group. Well, you should get out the group because if you win the league, you're going to be in a group where you're technically the strongest team. So you got to at least make the quarterfinals then. I think that would be a good season for Bayer Leverkusen. But let's see. And I'm also going to be interested to see what kind of business they do this summer. But, all right, guys, yeah, let's keep it moving, though, because, again, we got a lot of stuff to get into. People, make sure you smash that like button. Get in the live chat. My guys there, Scott, Sam, we're all just chilling right now, talking about these transfers and whatnot. And I'd like for you guys to join in on the conversation as well. So let's go to Chelsea, right? Because Chelsea have been linked with Olise for a few weeks now, right? Chelsea and Manchester United. Now, it seems like Chelsea are leading the race for the player. The reports are saying that they've already agreed on personal terms, and now the two clubs are entering into negotiations. Now, I was somebody that said Olise, he should join Manchester United. To me, that makes a bit more sense, and I'll tell you why. Because the same positions and the same areas on the field that Olise occupy, it's exactly where Cole Palmer plays. Look at their heat maps. They literally play in the same areas. So how is this going to work? Because I don't think Olise is going to Chelsea to be a backup. And Cole Palmer was arguably the best player in the Premier League last season. One of the signings of the season, period, around Europe. He smashed it in his first season. It was Cole Palmer FC at Chelsea. If they didn't have him, oh my days. If they didn't have Cole Palmer, I don't know where they would have been. So how is this going to work? Are you going to move Olise to the left? Are you going to move Cole Palmer to the left or put him as a 10? But then if you do that, then where do you play Nkunku? I mean, it's a good problem to have if you're Chelsea, but they have a lot of wingers already. Chelsea are literally wingers FC. It's like they don't want to sign no strikers. No, they want wingers. Like, that's what Chelsea want. But they have a good squad there, man. I'm telling you, that Chelsea team, a lot of people make it seem like it's all doom and gloom and that, they're going to struggle next season and that they're going to be in the mud. No, bro. Chelsea are going to be fine next season. I have very high expectations for them because I like the squad that they have. And adding Olise is only going to make them better. But I think the priority for them should have been going out there and getting a player that can put the ball into the back of the net 20 times a season. Can Olise do that? I don't think so. Now, Cole Palmer has shown that he can do that, but I'm more so talking about a striker. Point is, if they do sign Olise, it's a good deal. It is. But it's just, how are him and Cole Palmer gonna be able to play together, right? Maybe you do have to move one of them to the left. The only reason that I don't like doing that is because if I see a player cooking on the right and I didn't see him play on the left, why would I spend 60 million to sign him and then I'm going to play him out of position somewhere that I didn't really see him playing before? That's my only thing. As I said, I think Man United would have made a bit more sense, but Chelsea are more attractive at the moment. On top of that, with Man United deciding to keep Ten Hag, I don't think Olise would do well there. Technical players do not do well at Manchester United. They just don't. Especially the way that Ten Hag wants to play, counter-attacking football. You're going to ask Olise to defend for 60% of the game and then just try to hit teams on the counter. He's a very similar profile to like a Sancho. Technical, likes the ball at his feet, slows down the game, wants to get his teammates involved. That's how Olise is. He needs to be in a team that's playing possession-based attacking football. And I think that's what Chelsea are going to try and do with Enzo Maresca. So I guess this is the best move, but I don't think he has to go to either Chelsea or Manchester United. I think other big clubs will be in for him if he was to stay at Palace. But look, I like what Chelsea have going on at the moment. I think next season they will be just fine. I think that my expectations for Chelsea next season, it has to be top 5. You got to have a deep run in the domestic cups, and you have to win the Conference League, which I think they will. So, yeah, Olise looks like he might be headed to the blue side of London. On top of that, I know people were talking about the personal side of things, right? Like his little brother plays in Chelsea's academy, and he also already lives in London because he plays for Crystal Palace. So he might want to just stay in London versus having to travel all the way to Manchester. Now, I'm not in England, so I don't really know how far that is, but I think it is kind of far, how people were talking about it. So, all these factors can, play into his decision-making. But the main thing for me, as I said, is Cole Palmer. It's like, how are they going to coincide when they both play right wing, right midfielder, or as a 10? So Yeah, we'll see. But Olise is a very good player, very underrated as well. I think he's done his time at Palace. He's been there the last few seasons. He's been cooking, and he's always been a player that seemed like he was destined to play for a bigger club than them. No disrespect to Palace, but let's be real. If you're Olise, you'd be looking to use them as a stepping stone, right? Like players like him don't generally want to stay at Palace if you have a Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, or even any other big clubs from abroad coming in for you, right? You don't want to end up like Wilfried Zaha, where you just keep signing these long-term deals, and now nobody wants to come in for you because they got to spend so much money to sign you. And now you end up staying at Palace throughout your entire 20s, and now you're in Turkey. So, yeah, Olise, it looks like he will be on the move this summer. I don't think Man United are out of it, right? The reports are making it seem like Chelsea are going to just go out there and sign him. And I think Chelsea are more attractive at the moment than Man United are. But I still do think United are going to be involved here. I think Chelsea, I like what they have going on a bit more because I don't like Ten Hag. I don't like Man United's style of play. But from Olise's POV, as I said, if you go to Chelsea, you have to worry about Cole Palmer. If you go to Man United, you don't have to worry about anybody. You are the man right away. You start on that right wing immediately. You get that number 7 shirt, I believe, as well. You got to take that off Mason Mount. I don't know how the hell he got that number in the freaking first place. It's a joke. But, yeah, people, let me know what you guys think about Olise possibly going to Chelsea. I think Ineos, you cannot let that happen. The fans are already not really feeling you guys after you decide to keep Ten Hag. You're telling me that you're going to lose out on a target that you seem to really want, especially with you guys wanting to sell Sancho in the summer. But Olise, don't go to Man United. Chelsea are more attractive. Maybe Cole Palmer slots into that number 10 role, plays a bit more central, and then maybe you put Olise on the right wing. That's how I could see it working. But then it's like, what happens, as I said earlier, what happens with Nkunku? But as I said, people, get in the comment section and let me know what you think about this right here. Let's see. Not mid. Oh, okay. Well, see, but then that's a bit different then, bro, because Cruz is in midfield, right? Like, so Trent can't replace him at right back, if that makes sense, right, bro? See, what's my guys there saying? We must win in order for that to happen. Let's see. Some Bayern fans aren't happy about the top move. Yeah, I mean, I was seeing people weren't really feeling that. I don't really care about Jonathan Tah enough to talk about him, or else I would have. He's not one of my stories today. So I mean, we could talk about him from a second, but I mean, Tah was like a wonder kid like a few years ago, and then he got injured, and then I just haven't heard that much from him until this season, where he has been really good for Bayer Leverkusen. And Bayern, you guys do need some center back help, bro. Like you know this, right? So maybe that's why. But yeah, man, it's a joke. It's a joke. My guy. They harvesting some young animals again. Let's see. Chelsea better off being a Tennessee club rather than London. Oh, what? Because Cowboys American? Is that what you mean? Cowboys FC. All right, I got you. Let's see. Palmer can play as a 10, and Kunku can be that striker too. Fair enough. Maybe Nkunku can play that role. I always think about Nkunku in like that advanced midfielder kind of role. But if you go get Olise, then yeah, I mean that could work. Honestly, it can. But if I'm Olise, as I'm saying, that would be something that plays on the back of my mind though, because if Cole Palmer struggles next season in the 10 and Olise is on the right, the fans are gonna want Cole Palmer to go back on the right because that's where they saw him cook last season. So yeah, man, that's definitely one to keep our eyes out for. Where should we go next? People, smash that like button for me. Can we get to at least 10 likes? I meant to put that as like a poll, right? I think I'm going to try to do polls every single time I go live. Like, can we get to 10 or 15? I think the benchmark, because I'm not that big yet, it's not a lot of people that are, watching long time and all that stuff. So I think the benchmark that I want to hit every single stream is like 10 likes. I think that's fair. We could do that, right? I don't know how many we're at right now. And don't tell me, people. Please don't tell me, or else I might cry. But, 10 is where I'm aiming for in the live window. I know some people might click on this after it ends, and, hopefully they like the video then as well. But yeah, I think 10. 10 is what I always want. I'm going to start making sure that I create those polls, though, for sure. Now, I do want to switch gears because these Saudi clubs, man, these Saudi clubs are devious. They are. The Saudis, man, leave us alone. Leave us alone. Why am I seeing reports that Al-Nassr are planning on offering Rüdiger 100 million over 4 years? That's 25 M's a season. They really do want to beat Al-Hilal that badly. I saw that King Saudi Cup. Man, I don't know about this, people. I don't want Rüdiger to leave. I don't want Rüdiger to go anywhere. Rüdiger is my guy. He's one of the best center backs in the world. And I don't think people really understand his importance to Madrid, especially last season. Eder Militao, out for basically the whole season. David Alaba, out for basically the whole season. Rüdiger was the one consistent player in that back line. And he's performed well this entire season without really having a stable center back partner. Nacho, more times than not, was there. But there was times when Tchouaméni was playing next to him. Danny Carvajal was playing center back next to Rüdiger as well sometimes. And this guy's levels never dropped. I think if he was to go check his pocket right now, Erling Haaland might fall out. Don't forget that performance against Man City. Don't forget that performance in the Champions League final. Where was Fulkrug? All right, now let me not be shameless, because Fulkrug did have a few chances that he missed. But point is, Rüdiger is an elite defender, and he's had one hell of a career, and he still has a lot left in the tank. But I do think he would be interested in leaving. He's 31 years old, so not super old. Just won the Champions League. Won it with Chelsea a few seasons ago. He's basically completed football at the club level. Let's be honest. And the money that Saudi is offering these players, it's a lot. Like, how much you think Rüdiger is on right now? I bet you it's not close to 25 million a season. Rüdiger is probably making like 15 a season. 25 million? 100 M's in 4 years? That's a lot of money. And the Saudi league, they're growing. And they already said that they will be back this summer. And you guys already know, I rate the league. Every time I talk about what Saudi are doing, I always praise it because I don't fault them for spending money. I think it's smart. Not only is it helping their league grow, but it's also going to help the country bring in more tourists, which is also going to bring in more money. Now, Al-Nassr, they got a few big-name players there already. Sadio Mane, my guy Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, they have talent in that team, and Rüdiger would arguably be the best defender in that country. And if you see how Al-Hilal have just been dominating, won the league, won the King Cup the other week, and that's without Neymar, because Neymar has basically been injured this whole season. Yeah, I don't blame Al-Nassr for wanting to go out there and sign a center back. And I think Rüdiger is somebody that I would target if I was them as well. Hopefully he doesn't want to leave, right? Hopefully Madrid can maybe persuade him to stay for like another season, because I don't think we could replace him. I don't even know what's going on with Nacho. At the time of this recording, I'm not too sure if Nacho was staying or going. His contract runs out in a few weeks. And I think that we offered him a new one, but Nacho is not even good enough to be a starter for us. He only starts if there's injuries. Eder Militao, he's now fully fit, and I expect him to start next season. But if you saw Rüdiger, then will the center back pairing be David Alaba and Eder Militao? I mean, it's not bad. But I like our back line a lot more when Rüdiger is there. On top of that, he's a shithouse, bro. This guy Rüdiger is freaking crazy. Like, you see him, he's always bothering other players and being real physical. And I mean, anytime somebody scores, Rüdiger is damn near choke slamming them. I mean, like, I love this guy. His energy is fantastic, and he is super important to what we have going on. But if he leaves, I'm not gonna blame him. It's a lot of money, bro. I don't blame any players for going out there and chasing the bag. Rüdiger has nothing left to prove. He's won it all, except for a World Cup. Aside from that, what else is there for him to do? Now, hopefully, him just being at Madrid is enough, and he's like, nah, this is where I want to be. I'd love for that to happen. But go get your money, bro. I will never be mad like at a player that goes out there and gets as bro. This is their job, right? Like they're not fans like us. We view it very differently. Like we'd go play for our clubs for free right now. These players, they're not viewing it that way. They're going to do what's best for them and their family. And a lot of people that get mad at players that go to Saudi, or you remember before Saudi, it was China. Before China, it was like America at a point in time where they were giving out big deals. It always seems to come in cycles. But I think the Saudi money is a bit more stable because they just got all that oil. They're rich as fuck. So they have that bread to invest. And I think the Saudi league is entertaining. And it's I think it's up there as being really competitive because it's like 8 teams in that league are all spending a lot of money to try and win it. It's not like these other leagues where you only have like 1 or 2 teams in the league that are actually legit threats. But yeah, man, I hope that Rüdiger stays. Can definitely see him going though. But it's gonna be super hard to replace him. I think if you end up losing Rüdiger this summer, a center back has to be a priority. Especially with David Alaba coming off of injury, Eder Militao being injured most of the season. Let's see how they are gonna be able to play for a majority of next season. But you have to go out there and sign maybe like the Lenny Euro kid or somebody else. I have no idea. But yeah, you'd have to reinforce your back line if Rüdiger does end up going to Al-Nassr. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section, people. Let's see. Hey, we had 8 likes. All right, that's not too bad. I think by the time that we're done, we'll get at least 2 more. We need those 10 likes, people. Shout out to my guys there. After mod you there. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, like later. I have to definitely mod you. Let's see. I don't want Al-Nassr taking Rüdiger. Let's see. If I was Rüdiger, I would go. Facts. And you know that they don't even tax you over there. I don't know if you guys are old enough to work. Well, I know Zaire is like he's in his 20s. But Sam, I'm not too sure how old you are if you're working and stuff, bro. But you guys know when you get paid. And in fact, you know what, Zaire? I don't know what it's like in Saudi because I know that's where you're at, bro. So maybe you let me know if it's a little different in Saudi Arabia. But in America, we get taxed heavily. Okay, like if I make, let's say, if my check is $1,400 for the week, right? After taxes, I'm taking home $1,980. That's like almost $500 that they took from me. These players aren't getting taxed in Saudi. When they offer you $100 million, you're making the whole $100 million, not $70 million because of tax and all this nonsense. I wish I wasn't getting taxed. My checks would look so much better. Oh my, I would go. Do you guys think I could pass as Rüdiger? I'm black, right? You think the Saudis might confuse me with Rüdiger? Offer me that money. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'd go immediately. Let's see. Rüdiger would do a better job than Bully in being the shit house, aka the red carded player. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I still only know like the big name players. I remember like when we watched that Saudi King Cup on the watch along, I was very confused by a lot of the guys who were out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like if it wasn't Ronaldo or Mane or any of like the real big name players I was like, who the hell is that? So you were helping me a lot. You were putting me on the game, telling me who's good and all that stuff. So shout out to my guys there. You don't think so? Let's see. Shane, Mancini is a national team coach. We lost today. How much of a clown he is. Mancini is the national team coach for Saudi? Really? Let's see. Saudi is hella serious because of the culture of the game compared to China and MLS. Let's be real. That's fair enough. And I mean, the energy at that game, like the crowd was going crazy, bro. Like you couldn't tell me that wasn't like a Champions League match or something. Like it was sold out. The presentation looked nice. I'm telling you, next season, we are going to be doing Saudi watch-alongs. I will be doing streams for them, yes. Only, like, the big games, right? So, like, if, like, Al-Nassr going against Al-Hilal or, like, Al-Ali is going against Ittihad, right? Because they're going to bring in more big-name players this summer. So the league's going to be more entertaining. I'd never seen the Saudi league on my TV before until this season. Well, no, when Ronaldo first went, I started seeing him on Fox Sports and all that stuff. So it's an investment into the country ultimately, and I think it's smart. Let's see. Yeah, I know about the USA. My brother lives in Arizona. Oh, your brother lives in Arizona. Okay. And my dad used to study there. Reason why I've been there a lot. Taxes are nuts. And also your restaurant wages are so low. Exactly, bro. Like in no other countries do you have to tip. No other countries. But in America, we have to tip. Well, you don't have to tip. You don't have to, right? Like if you go to a restaurant or get your hair cut, you don't have to tip. But if you don't, it's like you're an asshole or something. Like that's how they try to make it seem. Like, oh my gosh, how could you not leave a tip? And oh, you only tipped this much. You're supposed to tip a lot more money. Like, bro, how about you guys get mad at the employers who are paying you $3 an hour? Like nobody forced you to be a waiter or a waitress. Why should I have to contribute to your living wage? That's how it is. It's crazy. We're being finessed. Yo, Zer, speaking of, I definitely do want to get you on the channel though. So this is definitely something that we're gonna, talk in the DMs about, but not just for Saudi. Like I just want you on the channel as like a regular, as just, we do like streams and we're just talking. Definitely, like, yeah, we'll talk though, my guy, for sure. You should start a Saudi league though, show for sure. Like, because there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of interest in that league. But yeah, man, look, let's get off of Rüdiger. And I am gonna kind of stick in the realm of Real Madrid, because reports came out today that if Julian Alvarez was to leave Man City, he prefers a move to Real Madrid. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel, if you've been joining these streams, you know how I feel about Julian Alvarez. For months now, I've been saying, if we don't get Mbappe somehow, the striker I want is Julian Alvarez. How many times have I said that this season before the Mbappe news was official? It's like Julian Alvarez was watching my video. He was probably like, yo, the way that Carnage is talking about me, maybe I could go to Madrid. And this is news that I like to hear. But it's too late, bro. It's too late. There's no room in the attack for you. You should have tried to force a move to Madrid last summer when Benzema went to Saudi. That was the perfect time to try and advertise yourself to Madrid if you are a good striker. But now, it's over. There's no room in our attack for Julian Alvarez. And I really do like this player. I think he is the best striker at Man City. I'm taking him over Erling Haaland any day. Haaland as a footballer is not there for me. If he's not scoring a 2-yard tap-in from great service, he might as well not be out there. Julian Alvarez is a better all-around player, and I think if he started week in, week out, he wouldn't bag as many goals as Haaland. No, because Haaland is an elite finisher. Haaland is also elite off the ball. I will give him that. But I still think that Julian Alvarez can bag, about 36 GA. I don't know how you want to combine that with goals and assists, but I think Julian Alvarez, week in, week out, in a team like Man City, can do that for sure. So, I would have took Julian Alvarez for sure, but, where are you going to go? You can't come to Madrid, bro. Mbappe is in. Endrick is coming in. And then Joselu will be our third choice striker. Vini on the left, Rodrygo on the right. Our attack is stacked. And the reason that this report is a bit confusing, even though I like Julian Alvarez, is because if he wants to leave Man City because he wants to start and get more minutes, then Real Madrid is not an option for him. It's not, because if hypothetically you were to come to Madrid, you'd be on the bench. The same way that you'd be on the bench at Man City. So, sometimes you have to look at these reports and take them with a grain of salt. You don't gotta just believe everything, right? I don't necessarily believe that this is true. I don't. But if this was last season, last summer, I'd be all for it, for sure. But just now, it doesn't make any sense. Madrid are not going to spend any money in attack this season. Well, this summer. As I said, Mbappe is coming in, so is Endrick. We're set at striker, bro. I think a lot of other teams, though, can use a Julian Alvarez, right? Chelsea, Arsenal, PSG, Atletico Madrid. I think Julian Alvarez will possibly get that move where he will go to a club and start. It's just not going to be this club in Spain. I can definitely see him going to Atletico Madrid, though. And they always do have a good Argentinian striker, right? I mean, like, they usually do well in Spain. But, yeah, man, this is a very good player, super underrated. And I think, 24 years old, he's completed football. He's won the World Cup, Club World Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. He's won everything that there is to win at Man City and at the international level. And I don't even know if was he a part of the Argentina squad that won Copa America? I'm not sure. But, I mean, his CV is mad. So if I was him, yeah, leaving Man City to go anywhere else aside from Real Madrid would be a downgrade because City are arguably the best team in the world. But he's already got his medals. So, yeah, if I was him, my ambition would now be to go to a team where I could still compete and I could be the main man up front. As I said, I think he would do really well at Atletico. I think for me, Atletico and PSG are the two teams that I would be most looking at to sign Julian Alvarez. I think Atletico, for them, Griezmann has a release clause that's like only $25 million, so he might leave this summer. Alvaro Morata's release clause is $12 million. He might leave this summer, so they're going to need a striker. They just lost Memphis Depay, who left for free. And I think this does come off as a Diego Simeone kind of player. Also, PSG, you lose Mbappe. What are you going to do at striker? Colomane, Goncalo Ramos, those guys don't really move me. I think Julian Alvarez could go to PSG and bag goals right away. He'd also win things. At Atletico, you're probably not going to win things. Let's be honest. Like, a trophy for Atletico Madrid is just being able to beat Real Madrid. Like, that's their trophy. Like, that's what they celebrate every season, is if they beat us. So, if I was him, I'd go PSG. Take over for Mbappe. The team runs through you. You're going to win the league. So, you're going to keep winning trophies. That's what I would do. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this story here. It's a bit too late, bro. It's too late, man. It's my guy, though. This is my guy. I think Julian Alvarez is just going to smash it no matter where he goes because he's a baller. Top player. All-around game is really good. Can hold up the ball. Can link play. And to me, he can get better at finishing, right? But I think once he gets more repetition, more chances, I'm telling you, bro. But, yeah, let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Sam says Alvarez should go. Yeah, so you're like me, bro. Alvarez should go to PSG. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hear it. I don't know. I just think maybe Diego Simeone would be able to convince him to go to Atletico. Like, and plus, he's Argentinian. Julian Alvarez, Argentinian. Like they may share a bond. Who knows? They probably know the same people. I can definitely see him at Atletico, though. But for me, it's either Atletico or PSG. I don't think Man City are going to want to sell him to a team in the Prem. He's too good. He's too good. Like, why? So, like, I know Arsenal are dealing with him as well. Why would Man City sell Julian Alvarez to Arsenal? He automatically makes them much better. I know that they sold them, Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, but those two were bench players that weren't that good. Julian Alvarez is a very good player. City don't even want to lose him. Like, they would keep him if they could. Like, he's not deadwood. He's not a reject from City. No, he wants to leave, not the other way around. But yeah, man, Julian Alvarez is definitely one to keep your eye out for as well. But Madrid cannot happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, because what does this report say actually? Look, so when I'm looking at it, it basically says Julian Alvarez first choice destination if he leaves City is Real Madrid, but a transfer is not going to happen this summer at least. It's not going to happen next summer either. It's not going to happen for a while. we're not going to need any striking options for a while. It's over. Like, if you're a striker and if your ambition is playing for Real Madrid, you have to give it up. You have to give it up. You should have tried to force that move before Mbappe came. Now there's no room, literally. But, yeah, man, let's keep it moving, though. Let's keep it pushing. People, make sure that you smash that like button for me and get in the live chat if you're watching as well. So let's talk about Sancho. Let's talk about Sancho, because with the news of Ten Hag staying at Man United and possibly signing an extension, Sancho's career at that club is over. He will not be returning, right? The reports were saying that they wanted to cash in on him regardless of who the manager was. And now that Ten Hag is going to be staying, yeah, there's no way that he goes back there. And again, I have to hold my hands up and say, I was wrong. I said Sancho at the end would win. But some way, somehow, Ten Hag has won. He has outlasted Sancho, something that I didn't think was going to happen. And now the question is, where does Sancho go? I know that the reports are saying Man United might only want 40 million for him. And I think that'd be a good price. But who signs him? I like Sancho. And I know that he struggled at Man United, but I don't really put that all down to just him not being a good player. I think Man United never set Sancho up to succeed. You bring in this kid from Dortmund, right? At Dortmund, he looked like one of the best young players in the world. I thought Sancho was the English Neymar. He was cooking in Germany. And everybody would tell you how excited people were about watching this kid play. When he got that big money move to Man United for about 72 million, that was the same summer that they signed Cristiano Ronaldo as well. And I was like, oh shit, United are doing some great business. But then the system that they played Sancho in, he was always going to fail. It's the same reason that I don't think Olise should go to Man United, because technical players do not make it at United. I'm telling you, look at all the technical players that they've had in their team. They all get binned off. The fans always scapegoat them. The media don't like them. Sancho, Di Maria, Paul Pogba, Kobe Mainoo might be next. Look at how they're already treating him after England lost to Iceland. They're already starting to get onto him. And there's probably a bunch of other players that I just not think on top of my head, like Jesse Lingard was technical as well. And I'm sure that there's more. Just for some reason, like I've been talking for a while now, so I can't really think that much. But technical players do not do well at Manchester United. Because when you looked at how Sancho was playing in Germany, why would you bring him to the Premier League, spend 72 million on him, and then have him defending and playing counter-attacking football? And you're expecting him to put in the same kind of performances that he put in when he was at Dortmund? When he was actually on the ball? Sancho is a player that needs to be on the ball. He needs to be in a team that are going to control possession. He can break low blocks. He can beat his man one-on-one. He's a creator. He's not necessarily lethal, but link-up play, all that, Sancho is there. Like, there's a player there. And I think you saw when he went back to Dortmund this season on loan in January, yeah, he didn't have the best loan, but he played well. Look at what he did in the Champions League semifinal. He was on the same pitch as Mbappe, and Sancho looked like the best player. Sancho was cooking. Sancho helped Dortmund reach the Champions League final, even though he didn't play that well in the final. But, I mean, how could you expect him to? So, I think there are going to be a lot of clubs that are in for him this summer. And I think he will get a move to another big club. And I think the next club for him has to work. Because if you're Sancho, you cannot flop at another team. Because now, I don't know if you get to go to another big club after that. He's still only 24 years old. And I think maybe a team, I don't know. I don't even know. I think I saw Juve was linked to him. I wouldn't want to go to Juve. If I was Sancho, I'd want to go to like a PSG. a Bayern Munich, right? A Tottenham, Arsenal, teams like that, like that are gonna play with the ball. You guys let me know in the comment section who you think Sancho should sign for, but I still rate him. I think United are gonna honestly regret selling him. But with them keeping this manager, him and Sancho had a falling out. It was never gonna work. Never gonna work. Like there was no way for him to come back. If the only hope that he had to possibly save his Man United career is if Ten Hag was sacked, which is not the case. Because if they would have gotten like a De Zerbi, right? I think it would have been idiotic to bring in a manager like De Zerbi and then you sell Sancho. So it's like you get a manager that's going to actually play a system that suits his strengths. So you want to sell him? That's dumb. But Ten Hag's system doesn't fit him, and the manager and the player, they don't see eye to eye. So he has to leave, and I'm going to be interested to see who ends up coming in for him. But there's a player there, man. And I also think, regardless, right, how the reports, Fabrizio and everybody else is saying that United want to sell him anyways, I think the relationship between Sancho and the fans also can't be repaired. If I'm Sancho, why would I want to come back to Manchester United? I just made the Champions League final with Dortmund. I've tasted some kind of success. I've reached heights that Man United haven't reached in a very long time by just making the Champions League final. If I was him, I wouldn't want to go back. The fans are slagging you off. Every time he played bad or didn't play that well for Dortmund, they're tweeting about him, laughing at him, mocking him. The media, after he fell out with Ten Hag. Mind you, all that Sancho did was defend himself. The manager threw him underneath the bus after that Arsenal game. And mind you, Sancho didn't even play in that game. So why are you talking about he didn't train well and stuff like that? What does that have to do with your loss to Arsenal just now, bro? I don't blame him for coming out with a statement basically saying, yo, I'm being scapegoated. I train well. I don't think Ten Hag rates him. Literally. As I say, technical players do not last at Man United, especially underneath this regime. Why do you think Amad Diallo can't get minutes? Amad Diallo is their most talented winger right now. But yet, the manager wants to keep playing Megan Rapinoe, Antony, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, all these players that don't have technical ability. They just run around a lot and do like the whole passion thing, right? Like that's what United fans want to see. So yeah, I think Sancho, Man United, it's over. The relationship is just over. Like I think it's best to part ways. And yeah, it's just sad because 3 years ago, bro, 4 years ago, when United first signed him, oh my God, I thought Sancho was gonna tear it up. And I think he will do well if he goes to the right team. But it has to be a side that are going to be playing with the ball and holding possession. I think that's when you'll see the best of Sancho. Not when you're having him just run around for 60% of the game, bro. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, though, which team you think should go out there and sign Jadon Sancho. Because, I mean, for only $40 million, that's not bad. Right now, I think they can get a bit more money than that. I think that they probably will get closer to 50. I think 40 million is just what starts the negotiations, right? Like you can't come in here bidding 35 million. I would say he should stay at Dortmund, but Dortmund don't have the money to keep him. I don't know how, right? Dortmund are a huge club. They make a lot of money, but again, this is why I don't rate Dortmund, right? Like they're not serious. They don't actually care about winning. All that Dortmund care about doing is finding young kids, making them good, and then selling them for big profit. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. Dortmund are the equivalent of a human trafficking organization, bro. They only care about profit. They don't actually care about winning silverware. You tell me that you can't cough up 35 million to sign an Ian Matson. You can't offer 40 million to sign Sancho. Like it's a joke thing. But yeah, people, let's move forward. What you guys saying though? Juve should get him. Chiesa has been mid all season. That's true. But I also saw that Juve were linked to Mason Greenwood. You think they could go do a double scoop, like a double swoop for Greenwood and Sancho? That's crazy. You letting Juve take two of your most talented players? Seems like a mistake to me, bro. And then also, I remember when he was first linked to Juve, I was like, nah, because Allegri was their manager. And if Sancho went to Juve, Allegri would have had him playing like left wing back. But I think Thiago Motta is like a progressive kind of manager that plays good football. So yeah, maybe he would suit that style of play that Juve might be trying to implement. Yeah, for sure. I can see it. see. Juve under Mata. That's true. That's true. But yeah, definitely want to keep our eyes out for it. I think a lot of clubs will inquire though. And I just hope that it works out for him because I do like Sancho as a player. Like I am a eye test kind of guy, right? Like obviously stats do matter, but I think what I'm seeing with my eyes matter more than stats. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority here. I think stats could be a bit deceiving, right? Like, and I always kind of use Bruno, for example. But like Bruno to me is not that good, but he has really good stats. So if you're not watching him play week in, week out, but you're seeing he got an assist this game or a goal that game, you might think Bruno is really good. But when I'm watching him, I don't see a good player there. But the stats would make you think otherwise. So for me, Sancho passes the eye test. Right? So I rate him. But yeah, man, let's move forward though, bro. Where should we go next? People also don't forget, smash that like button for me, guys. I think that we're trying to get 10. I have no idea how much we're at right now. Hopefully, I think Zaire told me probably 20 minutes ago that we had 8. So I mean, come on, like only 2, right? We're probably gonna be here for like another maybe 40 minutes or an hour. I'm not gonna lie, it depends on how fast I get through these stories. But yeah, guys, let's keep it moving though. Let's keep it moving. Now we gotta talk about Eze, the midfielder from Crystal Palace. Now, the reports are saying that Manchester United have entered the race to possibly sign him. Now, I rate Eze a lot. Him, Olise are ballers. And I think they've outgrown Crystal Palace. Now, what Oliver Glasgow has that side doing and how he has them playing is fantastic. But what sucks for him is that I think this summer they will lose 2 of their best players. And a lot of people don't talk about Eze as much as they do Olise, but this guy is a very good player. He's very technical, can link play, can beat a man. He's dangerous. In and around, anytime he has the ball, he's dangerous. Like defenders, you don't want to be in a 1v1 situation with this kid. I can't call him a kid. He's 25 years old. So this guy, you don't want to be in a 1v1 with him because he might make you look stupid. Now, he's been linked to Tottenham very heavily. He's also been linked to Man City. But now it looks like Man United are entering the picture. Now, with Ten Hag staying, I don't know if Eze would be effective at Man United. I think I'd rather have him as my number 10 than Bruno. I think he'd be a better player in an advanced midfield role than what Bruno Fernandes. To me, Bruno is a striker. I think if you put Bruno as like a false 9 or even just a playing out center forward, I think Bruno would cook. And I don't think we'd have that much criticism for him if he was up front. But Bruno in midfield, not good. The guy can't even hold the ball. He was always losing it, always making bad decisions. I think Eze would go into Manchester United and give them a spark in that midfield and in their attack. Now, again, United play counterattacking football. Eze can do that, right? I mean, we've seen him do it at Palace when he's going against other big clubs. And I mean, more times than not, when teams go to Palace, they're looking to attack, right? So he's not really playing any low blocks and things like that. But he is a player that I think if he is in a side where teams are sitting back and just defending, I think that he can help break them down. And I think he would be a good signing for Man United, for sure. I think he'd be a good signing for Tottenham as well. Now, if I'm Eze, Tottenham, you could say they play better football. Maybe what they have going on is a bit more attractive than Manchester United, right? Like Ange Postecoglou, he plays attacking and all these other things. But if I'm him, I'd pick Manchester United over Tottenham because even though Man United have been a disgrace recently, at least they win trophies. Like Ten Hag has won 2 trophies in 2 years, and the fans still want him out. They still came 8th. And Man United's worst ever season in the Prem, they still won something. And I think that says a lot. The last time Tottenham won a trophy was like 16 years ago. Let's be honest. They're not going to win anything next season. Maybe. Who knows? Because they're going to win something eventually. I don't know when, and I don't know if we'll be alive for it. But they're not going to be just mid forever, right? Like, they are going to eventually lift trophies in the future. You know, maybe when I'm 70 years old. The cycle will break. But if I'm Eze, I'm looking at it like, yo, look, let me be honest. I was at Crystal Palace not winning trophies. Why would I leave Palace to go to another team that's not going to be winning trophies? At least at Man United, if I stay, they give me a 5-year contract. I'm going to win something. And you'll be playing for a much bigger club. So I think he's a really good player, very underrated. As I said, more people are more so focused on Olise versus Eze. And I get it. You know, Olise is like 22. Eze is 25 years old. So, you know, a bit older. But he's still young enough where you can get at least 4 to 5 years of really high-level football from him. And who's to say that he doesn't maybe even take a step up in how good he is by playing with better players? Now, at Man United, I'm not saying that they got better players than Palace. I mean, on paper, they do. On paper, yeah. But they got to get rid of a lot of those guys. And I think, you know, Ineos are going to be busy this summer, right? Because you got to get rid of some of the deadwood. And they also have to bring in some new players as well. But, you know, we'll see. We will see. Let me know where you guys think Eze should go. United, Tottenham, or you can even say Man City because they were linked to him. I don't know if they still are, right? I know Kevin De Bruyne, he looks cooked. He looks a bit washed. And, you know, they are going to need a creative midfielder to come in there to be able to take some of the pressure off KDB, or if they want to sub him off or even rest him some games. And Eze would fit that system. But the thing is, though, when you play for Pep Guardiola, when you're a creative player like Eze, the issue with playing for Pep is that he kills creativity, right? Like he coaches that out of players. That's my only issue with Pep Guardiola. But you can't complain because whatever the hell he's doing, it works. It's effective. City have been dominating England, winning Champions League. Like, it works. But just the creativity, what makes a player special, Pep basically tells them to not do it. Like, look at Jack Grealish. A lot of people don't rate Jack Grealish anymore because of how he's been playing for Man City. I don't really think people understand how good of a player Jack Grealish was when City first bought him from Villa. Now, he was never worth 100 million, right? Villa finessed him there. But Grealish was a very good player. But they basically coached out that creativity from him. Now they just want him to get the ball and give it away. Get the ball, give it away. No, bro, Jack Grealish needs the ball. He needs to be dribbling with the ball, carrying up. Bro, Jack Grealish was one of the best ball carriers in England. In Europe, I should say, when he was at Villa. But yeah, that'd be my only concern if Eze was to go to Man City is how would he look in that system? Because I highly doubt Pep would just give him freedom like what he might need. So yeah, we'll see. As I said, let me know in the comment section though. United, Tottenham, or City if you are Eze. I think either of the Man United clubs are better to go to than Tottenham. Let's just be honest here, right? But I think he would cook at Tottenham though, for sure. He would cook there. He's tough. Let's see. Juve under. I think I read that, right? Okay. Hey, big up to Big Six Bands. What's going on, bro? Keep up the hard work. Appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate that. But, yo, let's keep moving, though. Let's keep moving. I got lots to get into. Damn, bro. I got to start breaking up these shows because, and I say this every time, but it's like, yo, it's like 18 or like 15 topics almost every time I go live. You know, I'm here just yapping for like hour plus, but that's all right because let's talk about Vinicius and PSG right now. I don't know what the hell PSG think this is, right? It's kind of like they're trying to force a rivalry with Madrid, and I don't really get it. I don't get it at all. Like, stop. You guys are not that club. I get it. You're in your feelings. You're sad that Mbappe has left you guys and joined us. And you're thinking of ways to hurt Madrid. And how could you hurt us? It's not going to be on the football pitch because you guys are not that good. So you're thinking, we have a lot of money. Let's go and maybe try and sign a Vini or a Rodrygo. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's just not going to happen. I've been seeing reports that PSG are interested in Vinicius for a very long time now. And it's just a deal that, quite frankly, if you are seriously interested in Vini, his release clause is $1 billion what? It's €1 billion, right? Pay that. If you want to go sign Vinicius because you're mad that Mbappe has left you guys for free, even though you could have sold him 2 summers ago, pay $1 billion and see if he wants to join. I doubt it though, because PSG are not that attractive. I'm talking about you're interested in Vinicius. Yeah, I'm interested in winning the lottery tonight. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. Now, I do think PSG will have a big summer, right? You don't lose Mbappe and then not go out there and sign players. I think that they will spend a lot of money this summer. But Vini, it's not going to happen, bro. And on top of that, he's the best player in the world, is Vini. I think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or next season, right? He's coming off of arguably his best season. Just helped us win the Champions League, La Liga, the Spanish Super Cup. So in a way, we did a treble. I know people don't like me saying a treble, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, you didn't win Copa del Rey. But what's it called when you win 3 major trophies in one season? That's all that I'm saying, people. Anyways, he's not going to leave Madrid. And I know people are trying to force these stories like, oh, Mbappe's coming in and he likes to play off that left wing. So what's going to happen with Vini? They're going to work together. That's what's going to happen. Carlo's going to be able to get the best out of our front three. We're not going to have to sell somebody to make somebody else happy. So PSG, you guys just got to stop. You guys got to stop trying to force this rivalry with Madrid. Like, you're not that club. Nobody watches Ligue 1. Like, they don't even have a TV sponsorship for next season. They might not be on TV. You might have to watch PSG games on like a bootleg website where you click the play button and like 15 ads are popping up. Dead ass, bro. Like, and now that Mbappe's left, they're cooked. Nobody's watching that. We barely watched it when Messi was there. So I get it. You want a marquee signing. It's not going to be Vini. Maybe go back to Barcelona and, go talk about Lamine Yamal. They're broke. They need the money. We don't need the money. But, yeah, man, I just find these rumors weird. It's like people want this to happen so bad. Like, they want either Vini or Rodrygo to leave because it's not fair. Like, let's be honest. If you're not a Madrid fan, what we have assembled, right? It's like we're trying to fight Thanos. It's like the Avengers is in Madrid right now. So it's not fair. And I get that a lot of people don't like what's going on because you already know what's going to happen if you play us. Like, let's just be real. But Carlo Ancelotti is going to have these guys working together. There's no big egos here. Everybody sacrifices something in this squad because you can't come here with ego. Look at what Mbappe said when he first joined us. This guy said that he comes here humbly. He's going to wear number 9 next season. He's not even getting number 10, and he's not getting number 7. And I think he's coming here realizing that he has to play down the middle. Because if we sign Mbappe and then if we play him on the left and drop Vini, let's say in a dream world that happens, what was the point in getting Mbappe then? We're still going to need a striker. I know Erik is coming in, but this guy's going to be 18 years old. He should not be starting. He needs to be embedded into the team slowly like what Arda was. You don't just throw him out there. So, yeah, I think next season is going to be a madness. PSG, you're going to be salty because you're going to have to watch Mbappe lift the Champions League, and it's not going to be with you. And I remember I was arguing with my boy Staffy on his channel, and I said that I think PSG have been failing since they've been taken over by the Qataris or the Saudis. I don't know who the hell it is, but they haven't won the Champions League. You don't spend over $1 billion to just dominate France. You could have spent half of that money and still dominated France. So I think, who's their president? What's this guy's name? Khalifi or whatever? He needs to step down. I think losing Mbappe for free, it shows that, maybe you got to let somebody else run the footballing side of PSG because that's just terrible business. You can't lose one of the most valuable players in the world for free. Like, PSG look like a joke. You beg this guy to stay. You're throwing all these money and gifts at him, and he leaves you. It's like if you're dating a girl and she wants to leave. She wants to go talk to other men. You're going to beg her and ask her to stay with you and throw gifts and money at her? No, you got to have some pride. And yeah, PSG, they're just in their feelings, bro. Like, they're just mad that Mbappe's left. And now they're looking at Vini. They're looking at Rodrygo. We'll talk about that in a second. We might not even talk about the Rodrygo link anymore. I have a slide for it, but I don't really have nothing new to say. I mean, I kind of do, but like, what's the point, bro? Like, PSG, you're not that team. We don't take you serious. I'm gonna be interested to see what you guys do this summer. I think, as I said, I think that you guys will have a big summer. But your midfield and your attacking options, now that Mbappe is not there, should look like a Wolverhampton side, bro. But what do you guys think about PSG possibly being in for Vini? Like, there's just no way that they can convince this guy to leave. Like what are we doing here? 10 likes? Oh my goodness me. Whew. My guy's there. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you for keeping me updated because I was getting a little nervous. Let's see. I think Mbappe's mom fooled PSG. How so, Scott? Mbappe told PSG from last summer, I'm not extending my contract. And instead of selling him, they kept him. And they thought over this season they'd be able to convince him to stay. They failed. It's a huge L. That's bad business. Let's be honest. These clubs are a business. You just lost one of the most valuable assets in the world for nothing. In any other walk of life, that gets you fired. If at my job, right? If I make a mistake that cost my company $200 million, I'm cooked. Are you kidding me? They're getting me out of there. So, I mean, like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But they gave PSG more than enough time. Hey, Input, what's going on, Brody? How are you, my guy? Welcome to the chat, man. His mom's his age. He's ruthless. Well, I mean, that's how you have to be, right? I mean, when you're an Mbappe, you could be ruthless, right? You could make certain demands that a lot of other players can't. But point is, PSG have nobody to blame but themselves for why they lost this man for free. And again, they're in their feelings, and now they're going to probably target some of our players. And they have the money, right? Like, they can probably come in with an offer. Let's say realistically, right? Aside from me just making fun of them, PSG can honestly come in and make an offer of like 200+ million for Vini. They can, but they just know that he's off the table because we don't need to sell. And we already have the right manager to make this squad work. So as much as people are trying to push this narrative that these players are not going to be able to play together, it's not true, bro. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Sam says, no one cares about a one-team league. Might as well watch paint dry. Yeah, man, it's true. It's true, bro. I can't watch. Bro, like, where the games even come on? Like, literally, right now, the French league, they don't have a TV sponsor right now. So, right, like, nobody wants to pay them to provide their games because who's going to watch it? You're going to lose money. Like, PSG are the only team that matters, and people don't really watch them either. So, yeah, they're cooked. Like, losing Mbappe, it didn't just affect PSG. It affected the entire country. Like, that economy is going to crash next season. Okay, not crash. It's a bit dramatic. But it's not going to be that good next season. That's a lot of... Yo, Mbappe brings in a lot of money, and you just lost all that. And you didn't even bring in any money by losing him. So, all in all, it's bad, bro. Vini's not going anywhere. He's the best attacking player in the world. Future Ballon d'Or winner. And... yeah, why would he leave Madrid where he's our star boy? He is the star boy, right? It just doesn't make any sense. That would be a massive, massive downgrade. PSG, come on, bro. Team never won a Champions League. Like, spend all that money. You have Messi, Mbappe, Neymar. Couldn't even win a Champions League, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's see. Zer says French league only have BN Sports. Yeah, but I don't think they have BN anymore, bro. That's the thing. They don't have BN anymore. That's only because of Al Khalifi owns Sports Group in Qatar. Wait, so the Sports Group own BN Sports? Because I swear I read a report saying that they're looking for somebody to, showcase their games next season. So I'm thinking that their contract with BN Sports might have ran out. Or am I wrong? Let me know. Oh my gosh, yo, people. do me a favor, man. Definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, bro. Appreciate everybody that's in here watching live. You guys could be anywhere else, so I appreciate you guys for choosing to chill with me for a little bit. But yeah, let's move forward though, bro. Let's move forward. I don't want to talk about Vini leaving no more because it's just not happening. And I saw this so late. I just added it just to kind of get a few shots off on PSG. But yeah, man, if I was a PSG fan, I'd be rioting until they bring in some new players. But let's see what they do this summer. I predicted them to sign, who'd I say? I think I said Rafael Leao and Victor Osimhen. I thought would be like their two marquee signings this summer. That cost a lot of money, but I think PSG are going to spend that though. So yeah, let me see. Any other comments about this or nah? Oh, Khalifi owns BN Sport. So then why are they looking for somebody to? So then why is the French league looking for somebody to like a new TV provider? Why is that? It's a bit weird. And who pays for BN Sports? I don't get BN Sports in America unless I pay for it. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that to watch the French league. Like I pay for ESPN Plus so I can watch Real Madrid. I'm not paying that to watch. And I think BN's expensive as well. So yeah, they're crazy. They are crazy. I think Erik ten Hag wants Rashford sold. Well, I mean, hey, look, then at least that'd be something good that he's doing this summer if they sell Rashford. But I doubt it. I think Rashford ends up staying at Man United. Nobody's going to go in for him. He's going to cost too much money. And he's not that good of a player for the amount that United are going to probably want to sell him. So let's see, though. Okay. Theo Hernandez. All right. I don't know how that just popped up like that. I don't even hovered over. I didn't even click it. But all right. Anyways, according to reports, Theo Hernandez wants to possibly come back to Real Madrid if we do not sign Alphonso Davies this summer. And what's crazy about that is Alphonso Davies and Theo Hernandez have just kind of been grouped and linked together throughout these transfer rumors because the reports are also saying that if Bayern do sell Alphonso Davies, then Theo Hernandez is the left back that they would want to replace him. So, yeah, they've just been kind of paired this transfer cycle because everybody just thinks that if something happens to one or the other, it affects the other one. So, anyways, look, I don't see this deal happening. I don't blame Theo Hernandez for wanting to come back to Real Madrid. Why wouldn't you? But when we signed him from Atletico Madrid, like, that was probably like 7 years ago. He didn't really play for us. He was here for one season, then went out on loan to Real Sociedad. And then after his loan from Real Sociedad, we sold him to AC Milan for like 20. Like we lost money on Theo Hernandez. And I mean, look, since he's been at Milan, he has become one of the best left backs in the world. Like he's went on to have a very good career. But I just don't really see a return to Madrid on the cards for him because I think it's going to cost too much money, right? And I think the main reason why we're looking at getting Alphonso Davies is because he only has 12 months left on his deal. We know that Florentino Perez does great business in the market. So Alphonso Davies is somebody that if he had like 2 or 3 years left on his deal, you're going to probably have to pay like 70 M's to sign him. We're looking to get him for about 40, maybe 45 million max. Theo Hernandez, how much do you think AC Milan would want for him? Let me know in the comment section. They'd probably want 70, 75 million. And I don't think Madrid are going to be willing to pay that. On top of that, we have Ferland Mendy. Now, I know that his future is a bit uncertain, right? His contract is running down as well. So we got to figure out, extend him or what? But he played really well last season, right? So Carlo Ancelotti already has confidence in him. The only issue with Mendy is his injuries, right? Like the last few seasons, I know not last season, right? Because he was fairly healthy. But before that, he was always dealing with injuries. And I think that is a cause for concern. And I think that also does play into Madrid wanting another left back. But it's not going to be Theo Hernandez. On top of that, we usually don't bring players back. Like once you leave the club, it's like we move on. I'm struggling to think of a time that a player that's left us, we bought them back and for a lot of money as well. Like when? I can't really see this deal, even though I think Theo Hernandez is a good player, right? He's the #1 left back for France. And I think at AC Milan, he looks really good. He's good going forward, and he's also solid defensively. I think he's arguably better than Alphonso Davies, because Alphonso Davies, what he offers you is pace, and he's really good when it's time to attack. But in defense, I don't know if I want Alphonso Davies in a 1v1 situation, right? Because it's a bit shaky, right? Like these modern fullbacks, like the Alphonso Davies, Jeremy Frimpong, Ian Matson, Alexander-Arnold, like the Yan Kudos, guys like that, they struggled defensively. I think Theo Hernandez is solid all around, but he is really good going forward, though. I mean, I was watching France the other day against Canada, and we also did watch France versus like Luxembourg, and this guy was so high up the pitch, it was like he was a winger. But again, when you're playing France and Luxembourg, you're going to dominate the ball. They're not going to really threaten you that much. So, you might be experimenting. But, yeah, he is a good crosser of the ball. And he also can shoot as well, like from outside the box. So he does kind of give another threat in your side. But, again, I just don't really see this move happening. No. Even though I don't really think any Madrid fans would be mad at it, even though he barely played for us. And I don't really remember back then what the reception was for him from fans. I mean, we signed him from Atletico Madrid. So he's coming from a crosstown rival. And yeah, it just didn't really work out. One season here, only played like 10 games. Then went on loan. And he's been smashing it at AC Milan ever since. I think he would be an excellent signing for Bayern Munich when they do lose Alphonso Davies, because I think that we are going to sign Alphonso. But yeah, Theo Hernandez, he's been linked to Bayern. He's also been linked to Manchester United. I think he's been linked to Chelsea as well. Like a few clubs, a few elite clubs are looking at him. And, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a real tricky summer, though, with transfers, because players are going to be at the Euros for basically the next 4 weeks. And whenever players are away playing games, it's going to be hard to sign them just because, you want to get a medical done and everything like that. And yeah, but we'll see, though. I think Alphonso Davies does end up coming to Madrid, though. I know that there's reports saying that he may stay at Bayern Munich. I think if he wanted to stay, he'd have signed a new deal by now. He's been there all season. If he wants to be there, why is he letting his contract run down? Actions speak louder than words. I think Bayern, you go at Theo Hernandez, the quality does not drop. You might even get a little bit better at left back. You know what's crazy? I actually thought that him and his brother were twins. Theo Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez. Lucas Hernandez is older than him by 2 years. They look exactly alike, or am I crazy? Let me know. Let's see. If we keep Davies, Theo is yours. I don't think they will sign him. I just don't think so. He's a good player, though. I like Theo Hernandez. I think Madrid should get a more defensive left back because the attack is already overpowered. Fair enough. But then that's where you have Mendy. Like, that's why I like possibly bringing in Alphonso Davies, because if you pair Davies with Mendy, that's a very good left back depth to have, because they both offer you different things. Mendy is good defensively, and he's good going forward as well. But Alphonso Davies is great going forward, but defensively. So, I think to have those two left backs to rotate between, that would be a nice option for sure. Let's see. Davies is only good for recoveries. Says Lucas Hernandez, the snake. I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, look, if you're at Atletico, Real Madrid come in for you, we're going to say no to stay at Atletico Madrid. Are you crazy? But yeah, we can move off that, though, and talk about Manchester United and their striker search. Now, they're being linked to Ivan Toney, Joshua Zirkzee, and Jonathan David, right? Now, for me, the obvious choice is that player down the middle, Ivan Toney, right? Manchester United, they need a proven player that can bag you 20 goals in the Premier League next season. Joshua Zirkzee is at Bologna. Let's be honest, 99.9% of people did not watch this guy play last season. I know that they did good, right? Because they came in a Champions League spot. Thiago Motta was doing a madness. But let's be real. We didn't watch them play, right? The average person has never seen this guy play. I know he was at Bayern Munich before, but him in Italy, you don't really know what kind of player he is, right? Like, let's just be honest here, right? But what I know is that he would be experiment coming to the Prem. Same thing with Jonathan David. He's at Lille. I've been hearing about him for a while now. He's been linked with the move away from that team for at least the last like 2 or 3 summers. Why is he still there? What's going on with that? United, they already have Rasmus Højlund. He's mid and he's young. He's an experiment. Why would you go out there and sign another young striker? Like, come on now. Ivan Toney, even though I think he should go to Arsenal, right? I think Arsenal should go to Arsenal. I think Ivan Toney should go to Arsenal. I don't really know what's happened with this guy's PR as of lately. I remember everybody seemed to like him a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden it's like nobody wants Ivan Toney. He's being linked to West Ham now. Like, what's happened? Did Ivan Toney do something that I don't know of? Because to me, him and Julian Alvarez are the 2 best strikers that are available on the market. And I think Ivan Toney, if he goes to Man United, he can fit in that style of play that Erik ten Hag wants. I think he's a good all-around striker, and he can also score goals if given the opportunity. The only problem is at Manchester United, you're not going to have a lot of opportunities as a striker to put the ball into the back of the net because none of the wingers there look to create. Rashford, head down, cut inside, shoot. Megan Rapinoe, head down, cut inside, shoot. Antony, head down, cut inside, shoot. So I think he would struggle at United, but I think he would do better than Zirkzee and Jonathan David. I don't really have too much to say about this, though, because I don't watch other 2 players. I don't even know why I added this. This is definitely a topic that didn't need to be in here. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. You like Zirkzee? I mean, but did you really watch him, though, there? Like, how many Bologna games did you watch? Come on, bro. I'm not saying that you're lying or that you didn't, but you probably watched him probably like 3 times max. I can blame him. Wait, what? It was PSG. I think I'm drawing a blank, bro. Drawing a blank here. So what kind of player is he? Yeah, let me know in the comment section, bro. Let me know what kind of player Zirkzee is. As I said, I have not watched him play at all. I know that, Thiago Motta does like a weird formation and all that stuff. Like he's like a real progressive kind of manager. He's playing like some weird formations, like a 3-8-2 or some nonsense like that. I don't know. I'm just yapping, but okay. Let me see. So there says I watched him at Bayern. I mean, bro, but that was like years ago. Or was it like, what, 2 years ago? When's the last time he was at Bayern Munich? Was it actually? Has he only done 1 year at Bologna? It doesn't matter, bro. It does not matter. But all right, now, just like I was saying with Vinicius, I'm gonna say the same for Rodrygo. He is not going anywhere. Anybody that wants Rodrygo sold, you are out of your mind. This guy is so underrated. This entire season, I've been defending him, right? And I know that he didn't play the best, but it would be a huge mistake if we let him go. They're saying that he has offers from PSG and Man City. But of course he wants to stay at the club because he's an important player. It's not like Rodrygo has even lost his place yet. This man will start next season. I personally predict Carlo is going to go back to the 4-3-3, and Rodrygo will have that right wing to lose because I think he'll get first crack at it. Now, if we come halfway through the season and he gets dropped for Arda Güler or something, then maybe we can have the transfer talks. But as of right now, he'd be an idiot to want to leave Real Madrid when he's going to be starting for us. Now, as far as PSG and City are concerned, those are the only 2 clubs that I really think can attract him somewhat. More so Man City, not PSG. I don't think PSG are attractive at all, especially if you're at Real Madrid and you're a starter. What are you going to go to PSG and do? Just win the Copa de France and Ligue 1? And I know that, again, their feelings are hurt. They lost Mbappe. I know Khalifi or whatever the hell their president or director's name is, he probably cried in the shower for like a few hours when Mbappe announced that he was leaving. And then when he saw that official comunicado, I'm surprised that he's still here on Earth with us, because that might have been my 13th reason why if I was the PSG president. Not gonna lie. So I get why they would want Rodrygo, right? Again, a lot of people, they want to put out speculation that we're going to have to sell somebody, that these players are not going to be able to work together. I've said it time and time again. There are no big egos in this dressing room. You can't have a big ego in a team full of players like this, or else it's not going to work. Now, I know that there's some concern that Mbappe might come in and destabilize what we have going on. I don't think so, though. It's a French core there. It's a Brazilian core. And everybody gets along from what it looks like. Or else the results on the pitch wouldn't be as good as they are. And I think when it comes to Vinicius and Mbappe and Rodrygo, out of those three, yes, Rodrygo is going to suffer from those two being there in terms of goal output, right? But what I think he can capitalize on is being more so that creator, the guy that's getting the assist. Because with Toni Kroos leaving, our midfield next season is not going to really have a creator that's going to be starting on a week-in, week-out basis. I talked about it earlier, but Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz are our only two creative midfielders. Jude is a box-to-box 8. So is Valverde. And then you're going to have probably Tchouaméni playing in that lone 6. Camavinga, he's a DM, and he's great on the ball, right? Camavinga is probably one of the best carriers of the ball in the world right now. When he's on the ball, he just glides. But he can't really pick out a pass like how Toni Kroos can. So we're going to need somebody to kind of maybe step up into that creative kind of role, right? I'm sure that the system's going to be fluid. There might be times when you see Rodrygo on that left, or Vini on the right, or Mbappe on the left, Rodrygo down the middle, Vini, like it's all going to be fluid. The players are going to just be switching and transition, and just depending on how the game flow is, because you saw him and Vini do it many times last season. And that's going to create problems for the defense, because like, how do you mark players if they just keep switching? If 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's there. So I think where Rodrygo can really show more of his worth is by him dropping maybe a little bit deeper and picking up that ball and looking for a pass into the final third. Because when you're playing with Mbappe and Vini, they're going to get their goals. They're going to eat. So now the question is going to be, who's going to be assisting them and providing them with the best opportunities? And I think that's where Rodrygo can stand out in this team, because he's not going to be able to go band for band with them. Like, he's not going to be able to keep up with them scoring-wise. But Rodrygo is a very good player. I think he's on the cusp of being world-class. We're talking about Mr. Champions League himself. We're talking about the owner of Man City. You know what they say? If you can't beat them, then join them. And that's what City are kind of doing, right? Every time he plays against Man City, he's bagging a goal. You can put money on it. It's free money at this point. And as far as PSG and City are concerned, as I said, I don't think PSG are that attractive. Yeah, they have the money, and they could maybe put in a good bid for him, right? They could probably offer like 200 million. That's how much I'd want for Rodrygo, even though he's not worth that. But for me, I don't want to sell him. So that's where the talks would probably have to start, if I'm being honest. But Man City, now that is a team that I would be worried about. If they really did have a winger issue, I would be worried about Rodrygo and Man City, for sure. City are arguably the best team in the world. They have arguably the greatest manager. They have a huge budget. They play great football, and they win a lot of trophies. They're the biggest threat to what Madrid have going on, let's be honest. And they're not going anywhere. They're really not. But they have a bunch of wingers. So where would they use Rodrygo? That's why I can't see this deal happening. And again, I don't think Rodrygo would leave Madrid unless he loses his place in the starting 11, which I can't see happening because I back him to bounce back next season. I think he only struggled because, we were kind of playing them centrally, but then put them out wide. We were in like that 4-4-2. I don't really think that he's adapted well to having to be so narrow, right? You see him cook when he's able to be out wide. And I think with all the space that he's going to get next season, because let's be honest, the defense is going to be more concerned about what Mbappe and Vini are doing. So Rodrygo is going to be left in a lot of 1v1 situations. He should be him and Jude should be the main beneficiaries of Mbappe's presence alongside with Vini's. And that should cause a lot more opportunities for them to open up. But as I said, man, City are the only team that I would be nervous about, but they don't need him per se, right? I think he would go there and start. Yes, I think Rodrygo would start at City. But they just signed Savio, the Brazilian kid from Girona. They got Jeremy Doku. They got Phil Foden. Bernardo Silva is still there as well. Jack Grealish. Like, why would they spend over 100 M's to go bring in Rodrygo? Unless Pep really does believe in him. Never know. But it would be a very expensive deal to get done. And as I said, when I talked about PSG being in for Vini, Rodrygo has a release clause of $1 billion. You want him, pay the bread. Pay it, bro. Let's see. So Xerxes pretty good on the ball and is a good goal scorer, but he needs to work on decision making a bit more. All right, fair. His name's Kalani. What was I calling him? Is it not Khalifi? Am I crazy? Let me see something real quick. I thought it was Khalifi. I've been saying his name wrong this whole time. Yeah, bro. It's Nazar Al-Khalifi. That's how I would pronounce it. How would you pronounce it, bro? Damn, I hope I wasn't saying. Unless that's what you're talking about. Maybe we're talking about two different things, but who knows? Rodrygo ain't going nowhere. He'll want to be part of the Vini and Bobby front. Exactly. Because he's going to be starting in that front three. Now, if he got dropped to the bench, maybe. But why would you leave? You're the number 11. You ain't going nowhere. Man, Rodrygo is definitely a top 5 winger in the world. Well, top 5 right winger in the world. I don't care what nobody tells me. He's better than Saka. He's better than a lot of these other players that I see people try to compare him to. Like, this guy's a big-time player. I'm telling you. But, all right, we got 3 more topics, people. We are on the final stretch. We've been live for 2 hours and 18 minutes. Fucking hell. All right, this is getting a bit long. Okay. What's next, people? What's next? Guys, make sure to smash that like button for me if you have not done so already, and subscribe to the channel as well, people. But let's talk about Levi Colwill, right? Let's go back to Chelsea because their young defender is being linked with a move to Bayern Munich. Now, there's no way in hell Chelsea are going to sell this kid. There's just no way. I'm telling you something right now. Levi Colwill will be playing for Chelsea next season. I view him as untouchable, right? They want to do a youth movement, right? Chelsea are rebuilding. They're bringing in young players. They just got their new manager, Enzo Maresca, and I believe Levi Colwill would be a player that they're going to be relying on for the future. I mean, they brought him back from Brighton on loan last season, gave him a contract extension, and then they also gave him John Terry's number. That just tells you how much they believe in him. Now, when I saw him play, I wasn't that impressed by him, right? I think the hype was a bit much for what I saw out there. But his first season, he dealt with injuries as well. I think he does have potential, but I don't really understand all the hype from these other big clubs who may be coming in to get him, because so far, just this season alone, he was linked to Liverpool, PSG, and now Bayern Munich. And I think if Chelsea were to sell him, they'd want a lot of money. Like, you'd have to pay close to a record fee for a kid that's not really proven like that. He looked good on loan at Brighton, but for Chelsea, he's been okay. So I think they're going to keep him, right? I think they believe in his potential, and I think he's also from their academy as well, and he fits into what they want to do. And I get why Bayern would want him, right? Bayern, they do need a new center back, right? Like, they were struggling in that position last season. My guy Zaire knows this too well. Eric Dyer starting in the Champions League semifinal. Are you kidding me? That's unacceptable. Kim Min-jae dealing with injuries. Thomas Tuchel didn't really rate him. And when he played against Madrid, you know, he was at fault for both those goals. that could be something that, Upamecano, this guy is a walking red card. He can't seem to keep his head on straight. He has that bozo gene to him. And then De Ligt, I thought he was a good defender, but I think they're saying Bayern may sell him. I don't know. But point is, that back line needs a fresh new face in there. And Levi Colwill being a center back that can also play left back, and that's left-footed as well, I guess that fits into what they want to do. Vincent Kompany, he does play a possession-based style of football, so you would think he would need center backs to not only defend, but do well on the ball. And Levi Colwill possibly fits that mold. I just don't think Chelsea would sell him. To me, he's a player that they need to be depending on. And I always defend this Chelsea squad. I know, again, a lot of people, they want to make it seem like Chelsea are shit and that they're just finished and they're, their manager's going to get sacked by Christmas and they're not going to be a serious club. They're not going to win trophies. I don't believe that. I think Chelsea are going to surprise a lot of people next season. And I think they will come top 4. Believe it or not. So, yeah, Levi Colwill, I definitely do expect a lot more from him than what I saw last season. And I think Chelsea are going to want to keep him. He just signed a long-term deal, and you probably have to pay a ridiculous amount of money, and he's definitely, more than likely, not worth it. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Levi Colwill possibly going to Bayern Munich. Zaire, do you like that or no? Would you take him? Let me know. Colwill won't happen. Yeah, I agree. But would you want him, though? I don't mind Dyer staying bench if someone gets injured. Up Maguire. Bro, Eric Dyer, man. This is the same guy that couldn't get playing time for Tottenham. He shouldn't be anywhere near Bayern Munich. I swear that they only signed Eric Dyer just to give Harry Kane a friend. I promise you. I don't think that they thought he'd actually be playing. It has to be because Harry Kane can't speak German. He could barely speak English. So they had to give him somebody that he could talk to make him happy. It's crazy. Let's see. Trade up for Ta, and I'm fine. Okay, well, Jonathan Tah for Upamecano. Upamecano looked good when he was at Leipzig. I just don't know what's happened to him since he went to Bayern Munich. Just fell off. It's weird. Yeah. I think Colwill's potential is pretty good. So, it makes sense if you like him. Tuchel wanted Dyer. Really? Like, how do you look at Eric Dyer and say, yeah, that's a Bayern Munich center back right there? Like, what? Oh, my God. Yeah, this guy Eric Dyer, when Bayern probably phoned up his agent, he was like, me? They want me? Yeah. Say, yeah, bro, Harry Kane don't got no friends there, bro. Go just talk to Kane. All right, guys, 2 more topics, and then we're out of here. We're going to go back to England. And, let me switch this right here. Luis Guilherme. It looks like he is a West Ham player. Fabrizio Romano has dropped the "Here we go." Young kid from Brazil. Most people think he's a wonder kid as well. So this is a good move for West Ham, right? They have to try to find good deals in the market. And with the potential that you see a lot of these young Brazilian kids have nowadays, he's worth the risk. And on top of that, it doesn't really cost that much money. Now, he's coming from Palmeiras, and I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched that much of him. I've seen highlights, I've seen compilations, and from those, he looks really good. He looks dangerous, explosive, and a technical player. But I wonder how he's going to adapt to the Premier League, to England. I think he's the Lucas Paqueta replacement, because who the hell knows what's going to happen with this guy, right? Paqueta is being investigated with this whole gambling stuff, and, he might be banned for life. So I think West Ham were like, oh, hell no, let's be proactive and go get us another Brazilian. And I don't know what they're doing at Palmeiras, but their youth academy is just churning out talent. You got Endrick, who's going to Real Madrid. Estevao Willian just signed for Chelsea. And now Luis Guilherme going to West Ham. Now, when you kind of say it like that, right? Like when you compare where his 2 other teammates are going, look, going to West Ham doesn't really seem that great. But at the end of the day, he's going to get a chance to prove himself in the most entertaining and most viewed league in the world. As I said, I think he's the Paqueta replacement. So we'll see how he fits in. And I think West Ham, they're going to have a busy summer, right? Kudos might end up leaving. David Moyes has left. They brought in Lopetegui. So let's see what style of players he wants. By this signing, it tells me that he's going to want to play a more progressive, possession-based, what's it called? Possession-based style of football. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this kid is fantastic and that he's going to be world-class because, let's be real, who the hell is watching the Brazilian league? I could only tell you what I saw off of highlights. He looks good. And I think they got him for a very fair price. Because out of his 3 teammates that went, or his other 2, I should say, Estevao and Endrick, they all went at the time that they were sold for money that they were not worth, right? But we know how it is. When you find a young kid from Brazil, his price is going to be a lot because the Brazilian market, players from there are viewed as like gems. So you're going to have to pay more to get a Brazilian because if this guy or if Endrick or if Estevao was American, nobody's going to be paying that much money for them, right? Like, let's just be honest. But yeah, man, look, that academy just got raided basically. And yeah, Palmeiras are going to have to try and find some guys to replace their talents because they've all left. But yeah, West Ham, they were on it. They got this deal done pretty fast. I know some people are saying, why would he go to West Ham? I kind of agree with that. If I was him, maybe you wait for a better team to come in for you, maybe like a bigger name club. And if you would have kept progressing, they would have been there. They would have kept watching. They would have kept tabs on you. But, he wanted to get that move, probably life-changing money for him, his family, whatever. But, yeah, let's see how he plays for them and where he fits in because he does play on that right wing. He could also play on the left wing. And he could also play in midfield. So if they sell Kudos, and let's say if Paqueta leaves, I think he could slot right into that starting 11, and they also are going to have Jared Bowen as well. So, look, we'll see. But if you're a West Ham fan, are you excited about signing Luis Gilmer or nah? I think that you have to be excited, right? You're not going to go out there as a West Ham fan and sign already proven world-class players. So, I think that you have to do deals like this, like with Paqueta, like with Kudos, players that are showing a lot of potential and that you can keep for a few seasons and then make profit off them. I think that's how West Ham have to operate. And I think this was a good investment for them. And again, this is a reasonable price. $23 million with $7 million in add-ons. Like, come on now. So, yeah, we'll see how the kid does. But good luck to him. Good luck to him. Now, last story for the day before I get out of here. We're going to talk about Lukaku because Napoli have just put in a disrespectful offer, if these reports are to be believed. 12.7 million plus what, like 2.5 M's in add-ons for Lukaku, who has a 38 million release clause, whose market value is 30 million. That's the offer that Napoli want to put in for him. Do you guys play FIFA manager mode? When you go in to buy a player and you give some really low bid, and then the manager for the other team would just be like, yeah, bro, we're going to end negotiations right here because you're not being serious. And then you can't negotiate with that club for like a week in the game. Yeah, that's what needs to happen right now. I would have had to ask Napoli if they're being for real here because there's just no way in hell you think that's an acceptable offer. If you want him, pay the release clause. 12 million? What the hell is that? I know Lukaku's fallen off. And he's not the same striker that he used to be. But he's worth way more than 12 million. Now, if I was Chelsea, I would keep him. I wouldn't sell him. I think Lukaku would bag goals in this Chelsea team because they create a lot of chances. They have creative players there, right? You got Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Ian Maatsen might come back from loan, Levi Colwill, Madueke. Like, they have a decent, promising young team there. And last season, underneath Pochettino, creating chances was never the problem. The issue for them was putting those chances into the back of the net. And I think Lukaku could go to Chelsea next season and score like 14, 15 goals in the league. he's better in front of goal than Nicholas Jackson is. Now, even though I'm saying Chelsea should keep him, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't still go sign another striker. I think you should bring back Lukaku and then still go out there and sign a better striker that can start for you week in, week out. And then you have Lukaku come off the bench. That way, Nicholas Jackson doesn't have to start for you. I think Nicholas Jackson's a decent player, right? He's not trash. He's not good at scoring, but everything else, he's pretty decent at. He can hold the ball up. He can link play. He makes good runs. But if you're going to be starting up front, especially for Chelsea, a side that have spent £1 billion, you got to be able to score more consistently. And I think Nicholas Jackson cost Chelsea a lot last season. If he was a bit more clinical, I think Chelsea would have had a much better season. And I think that they would have won a trophy last season as well if Nicholas Jackson was better in front of goal. But for $12 million, this little stupid offer right here from Napoli, you might as well just bring Lukaku back, bro. I know he's at Roma this season, and he was decent for them. Season before that, I think he was at Inter. But these Italian clubs are just passing around Lukaku like he's a girl at a party or something. Like, it's actually crazy. They don't really seem to want to bring him in permanently. Now, maybe you don't get the $38 million release clause paid, but Napoli got to come with a better offer than that. I wonder if they view Lukaku, though, as the replacement for Victor Osimhen if he leaves. I'm not too sure. That would be a massive downgrade, even though I don't really rate Osimhen like that either. But we saw what he's done for Napoli. I don't think Lukaku's going to be able to do the same things. But if they just want to bring him in as a squad player, then yeah, it would be a good deal. But just this offer from Napoli, though, is just super disrespectful. It's super disrespectful, bro. Like, would they have accepted a bid like that for any of their players who have the $38 million release clause? Like, what are we talking about here? Anyways, I think Enzo Maresca should bring him back into the team, make him a part of your squad, could be your backup striker, and I think he can do well for you. I think, as I said, I think Lukaku goes into Chelsea next season. He bags like 14 to 15 goals. Let's be honest here, right? They create chances, Cole Palmer, and they might even go sign Olise. So they're going to need somebody to put these chances away. And I think Lukaku can still do that because he can still play at a high level. But yeah, Napoli are out of their damn mind. By the way, I do think that Lukaku would do well at Napoli, right? Conte is now their new manager. And even if they do sell Victor Osimhen, and if Lukaku starts up front for them, they're still going to have that guy from Georgia on that left wing. And he looks really good on the ball, and he does provide a lot of chances. So, Lukaku's going to get his opportunities there. But come on, bro. $12 million is ridiculous. Like, no. Pay the release clause, or Chelsea, just bring him back, bro. But also sign another striker as well. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about these transfer stories. My guy's there saying Napoli president, bro, he's taking the piss. Like, I would have hung up the phone on him. Like, what, bro? Like, what do you think? I'm pussy, bro? Like, I'm not selling you him for that much money, bro. Like, $12 million. Crazy. But yeah, guys, shout out to everybody that was in here today. Over 2 hours, 2.5 hours locked in. Oh my goodness. See, I clicked the wrong button. That's how tired I am. But people, definitely make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to share, subscribe. And yeah, that's it, people. I'm out. Peace.